It's a fine, fine day. Sunday. Sunday.
Good morning, Gearheads. 152 days until college football. Happy March Madness and Sco Ducks. Go to blindmike.net for all things Blind Mike and check out the Patreon and download the podcast wherever you get your pods at. On today's show, we welcome Cardiff Electric to the show. Krager's arrogance leaves Mike befuddled. We see Stuttering John and the Army Major's first show together. Well, kinda. Tom Meyers is trying some Kevin Brennan cosplay. Bad Friends versus Shane Gillis. Jim Norton and Dan Soder talk selling out. Rick Glassman is mean to the hoes. And if it's Sunday, you know it's toe day. That's right, goal time. A little steel toe morning show. And now, a man who prefers them baked, but will still do them mashed or scalloped. Blind Mike Geary.
What's going on now? Did someone tell Electra she has to annoy me every week?
Is that what's going on?
Before the show, she's badgering me. You got any topics ready for today? She read them. That's a pre-recorded intro. She read every one.
It's early out here on the West Coast. Sometimes we forget.
All right.
Good morning, Blind Mike.
We to save me today, I'm very excited.
Goddamn.
Returning for the first time in a long time. This is very good news. We do have to all be ready because I think this guy has some chicanery planned. So everyone be on their toes. He's a real prankster. He's a menace. But to join me today is the great Cardiff Electric. Hello, my friend.
Oh, hello, you.
Hi, Cardiff.
Don't edit me. Hello.
He's
Hello.
He's here to take me to task.
Take you down.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment. I do want to start with something real quick that's been burning me up all week, and I'm glad Cardiff is here to give his opinion. Because this is something that Electra and Casey were present for this. They had to live through it, so they can't really give honest perspective. They were at the scene of the crime. Things were happening very fast. I'd like a bird's eye view for this. Craig says that he goes, this is what Mike does. Like I'm such a bad guy to him.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, this is what Mike does. He twists things to make me look bad. So last week on the Catch-22 program, which I believe happens after this show on HACKRIDE Studios. Go check it out sometime. Craig was on last week, and he was talking about what a dangerous edgelord he is. Last week, he stuck around to tell them, like, guys, the internet can't handle me and the Very Good Show boys. Like, we're too dangerous for the internet. So Very Good Show hasn't been on YouTube. And I like Cardiff's take on this because Craig says that I'm manipulating people.
So I haven't even given you a take yet, but you like it.
I would like it eventually. Oh. But I want to play the clip first. Because Craig says I've twisted this in some way.
I mean, I could comment now.
That would be fun.
Just hold on.
Craig sucks.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's move on. Well, this wasn't on the list of topics from the pre-show.
It actually was. Electra read it.
Oh.
So I want to play this clip because Craig says that I've misconstrued this. I've taken it in some way. So Casey Day is asking him, why isn't the show on YouTube anymore? And Craig gives his answer. Cardiff, I'd like to know what you think of this.
I want you to bring it back to YouTube now under our new, more lenient free speech policies. We played it. Listen, we were the canary in the coal mine, and we played your show on our channel before you played your show on YouTube. And we're still here, Craigers. So get back on YouTube. I think the gearheads would love it. What happens if we could get you on after like who are these socials? Like Thursday after Who Are These Socials? Look forward to Krager's.
We can-
Very good show.
One, it would piss everyone off. And two, we only do Mondays and Wednesdays, and it depends on if I have the kids that week.
How we doing on the new mommy search?
So
I think
laziness. He just doesn't feel like doing it, and it would just Cardiff. Am I twisting that in any way, or is that a guy bragging about how edgy he is? Like there are board meetings happening at Google that are like, this Oconee guy can't get back on our airwaves. Keep him out of here.
Definitely someone that would ruffle the feathers of the establishment at Krager's.
Yes, exactly.
I think he sees things accurately.
Yeah,
This is you, Mike.
People would go nuts if Very Good Show was on YouTube. No one could handle it.
No. You're absolutely correct.
Thank you.
Right.
Because Craig doesn't see his own faults. He never looks inward. He screams inward out his car window, but he never looks inward and says, what am I doing wrong here? He acts like I'm some monster that twists and manipulates everything. He said, point blank, first of all, it would piss everyone off, man. That Oconee guy's back on YouTube, not on my watch. Alex Jones, fine. No big deal. Bring Gavin McGinnis back, but not Craig Ironhead Oconee.
I think YouTube is probably more scared of the Craigophiles, to be honest. It's the following.
You think? Well, that's often the case. Yeah,
it's the following that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's enough of this Craig talk. I'm sure you want to cut me down a few pegs. Was I too harsh on your
I mean, I
boy?
was happy that this was a Craig-free episode, and then you threw that in there.
I like to inject a little Craig into the mix.
Yeah. So, what's your problem with my pal OJ, Blind Mike?
I'll tell you. Here's my assessment of OJ.
Yes.
Before we get into anything, and you can tell me how far off I am. He's a nice enough guy.
Wrong.
Dim-witted in the sense that he doesn't have any real takes. Like, he's just a mild-mannered, kind of boring guy, but he feels the need to make it look like he's saying controversial things. So, like, when the chat gets on him and says, like, you're really going to be at this Hackamania with that awful Nick Rekieta guy, he'll say something like, man, I kind of wanted to just tell Patrick Melton to shove his invite in the trash because I'm not going because he thinks that's something interesting to say. It's not his own opinion. He's kind of getting amped up by the chat. How far off am I?
Well, I think there's a little bit of he's trying to fill 3 hours of airtime.
Whose fault is that?
Yours.
He doesn't have to.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to comment on it.
I have to fill 3 hours of airtime, so I'll just come on and lie and pretend I'm mad about things.
I don't think he pretended he was mad. I think he was just venting. He was just expressing an emotion that came to him, the pit of his stomach at that moment, and it was gone. If you and Melton didn't jump on it, it would have just been gone. It would have been in the ether. It just out there. But no, you scoundrels. You scoundrels have to clip the show out of context, by the way. You had spooky background music to make him sound creepier.
I don't think that's accurate.
No, that's exactly what happened. It's a HACKRIDE guy.
Now, why doesn't he do... So he's retired from doing his show. Is that what happened? He wasn't on this week?
He's missing in action. No, he took a week off.
Well, that's coincidental, no? He just had a vacation planned.
Coincidence doesn't always mean conspiracy, okay?
Sure, I understand.
All right. Things happen. It's life.
But the ELECTRA sent me some clip of him being like, he's on some show and he's like, man, I just don't know if this streaming thing is for me, man. It's just not. I don't know if I can keep doing it. There's some times where, like, on a Saturday night, I'm like, do I even have it in me to do my show tomorrow? And it's like, what? Who is this? Why are you doing this? If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. Everyone's fine with it. No one cares.
He enjoys it until people like you and Melton stick their thumb in his eye.
We're bullies. But why can't he just come on and make fun of me and Melton then? For being assholes. No? Am I wrong?
He doesn't want to make fun of the handicapped. He has morals.
I appreciate that. That's very kind. You know what? Maybe I had them all wrong.
Yeah, he's saving you. He's saving you, Blind Mike. He's
All
saving
right. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you should lower yourself to going to an event like Hackamania. I say be like OJ and abstain, stay home. But there is a pretty interesting thing going on. And I was asking Carl about this, and he was a little evasive on it.
Ooh.
I said maybe I should go to this thing. I hear there's a lot of gross people there. That's kind of my thing.
Mhm.
I said maybe I should go. And I tried buying a ticket using code WATP,
Oh, that's
and there were all sorts of hidden fees attached. I ended up having to pay like 3 times what I would a regular
Why
ticket.
didn't you should have called me.
So I said, I'm not going to do this. Well, that's why I wanted to have you on. I wanted to ask, is there a way I could maybe save a few bucks instead of spend this exorbitant amount of money?
On Hackamania tickets?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a little controversial.
Okay.
A little controversial. But yes, all the promo codes, except one, will actually add fees to your Hackamania ticket. It will actually make
Really?
It's I don't even know why they call it a promo code.
That's an
It's
odd system.
strange.
Am I going to tell
Yeah.
you?
It's very weird. It's
Yeah.
very weird. It's like you know when you order Uber Eats,
Mhm.
right? What do you order from Uber Eats, Mike? What's your favorite go-to? 3 a.m. I'm just passed out on the floor and I need something. What are you smashing Uber Eats for?
At that time, it would probably be pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Well, when you order that pizza through Uber Eats, you
Mhm.
do know there's fees on top of it.
I know,
Right.
it's very annoying.
It's very annoying. But if you went to Domino's directly, you would actually save a buck or two
Right.
on your pizza. So all those other promo codes are kind of like Uber Eats,
Okay.
right? Except for one. There's one
one's
magic promo code, and it's the shortest of all. Well, it's the second shortest. OJ's pretty short too. But come, CUM. That's the promo code you want to use. That'll actually save you 10% on your tickets.
Now, that's pretty interesting. I don't know. All the hosts should be promoting that because it saves people money instead of it costs them an arm and a leg. So
No,
I
the other
say-
hosts don't care about saving people money.
I don't like to hear that. I appreciate you kind of thinking about the people going. All these guys are in it for the money.
Yeah,
You know,
not
they're
me.
thinking about their bottom line.
I want to
You're
see. I want to get the poorest of the poor to Hackamania.
I
So
don't think
I'm
that'll
gonna
be a
save
problem.
you 10%.
I've
If
heard
this
about
is-
the type of people that will be going there.
I want people who are spending their last dollar on Hackamania tickets using promo code COME.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up because so many people were reaching out to me, being like,
Yeah,
"God, this
it's-
Carl guy, he's charging me so much money. It's
Yeah.
crazy."
I think if you use promo code WATP, you should submit a request for a refund
Absolutely.
and then rebuy your tickets. Rebuy your tickets first using promo code COME, and then go back and request a refund on your WATP tickets.
That's fair. All right.
You'll
That's
see,
good.
because the WATP refund, look at this, you're going to actually make money.
Mm.
If you buy a ticket using promo code COME, right, and then you refund the WATP ticket at the higher price, you're actually going to make money. This is a for-profit venture for you.
Oh my goodness.
Think
All
about
right.
it.
All right. Well, that's. I appreciate you thinking of the people, for
people.
once, unlike these greedy bastards with constantly with their hands out, grifting, as they say. So now that infomercial is out of the way,
Oh, no, there'll be 7 more. Don't worry.
okay, good.
I requested 7 plug spots on this episode.
Well, you can also, since I'm saving you guys so much money on these Hackamania tickets, you could also go to blindmike.net and become a member for as little as $5 a month. Send the savings back to us. All the money that Cardiff just saved you. Send to us by subscribing, getting early access and bonus content. Or you can just support the show for free wherever you get podcasts. If you're watching live, which you can every Sunday morning, make sure you smash that like button and comment and subscribe because all that helps more people find this show. Speaking of YouTube channels, you're back on YouTube. Am I wrong about that?
Not yet, but yes. Well, before we get to that, Mike, I mean, I don't want to get this reputation as just saving people so much money.
Yeah.
But if you go to my Patreon, patreon.com/Cardiff Electric, there are tiers as low as I think $5 where I actually bundle all the other Dabbleverse Patreons into one. So if you subscribe to my Patreon, I actually put out all the content from Blind Mike, Be Dabbler,
I don't like this bit as much.
all of the Patreon for $5. Think about it. For $5, could you imagine if for $5 a month you got Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu,
Right.
I mean Prime, all of them under one umbrella. I've done that.
That
at
is
patreon.com/Cardiff
while that might take a few dollars out of my pocket, that's very noble of you, and I
It
appreciate
is.
it. So go check out Cardiff's
Yeah,
Patreon as well.
it's great.
He's
great. But
making a
yes.
return to YouTube, which is exciting.
I am. So right now I have a super secret YouTube channel, which somebody's put up on the screen. It's not so secret anymore. But I am
Sorry,
live.
we're doing our job.
Yes. My Patreon members get that link because they incessantly complained about Rumble. Everybody hates Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble is not great. I don't mean to speak out of school, but it's just not as easy to use as YouTube.
Yeah.
It's not.
I know.
They clearly lie about their numbers for some reason. I don't know how they get away with that as a publicly traded company, but
the numbers are accurate. But I will be live streaming on that eventually. I want to build up that channel a bit. I'll do live streams on there, pull it down right away, stick it to YouTube. But for live streaming, I'm going to try the YouTube again. Just see if any of these, can I say cunts on your show?
why not? Let it fly.
See if any of these cunts reported for ban evasion.
Ooh, I like the way that sounded.
Yeah.
What a bad boy.
Yes. Nedgelord.
All right. Now, I appreciate Cardiff coming on because even though I declared war against his co-host OJ,
Yep.
he's still stuck to the schedule because Cardiff and I a while back talked about the first time that Richard Ojeda was on with Stuttering John, which is in a way a podcasting masterpiece. It's a great way. If you're wondering how do I introduce this character to my show.
Well, actually, I think we were just doing an Ojeda episode, and I think we kind of wondered what was the first time? What was the first time Richard Ojeda was ever on the Stuttering John program?
It must have been magic because now they're so identified with one another as political commentators. When you think of news, you think of SJ and Ojeda. They've become one in a way. And so, we were wondering what was it like the first time they met. I kind of assumed they somehow crossed paths off air.
Well, this wasn't the first time they met. This was the first time that he was on John's show.
Oh, okay. So, so John didn't know who Richard was.
He did know who Richard was when he brought him on, but he didn't have him on his show yet.
All right. So John had Richard Ojeda on for like a 15-minute segment. Do we know what year this is? Is it 2020?
I believe. Hold on.
21, maybe.
I had the date in the video.
There's pandemic talk, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Do you have the date, HACKRIDE?
I think 2020 is right. 2019 or 2020. It wasn't 2021. It was before.
That'd be pretty crazy if they were talking about the pandemic in 2019.
Ahead
That
of
would
their
be
time.
some great foresight. We really should listen to this show.
Yeah.
So Ojeda was on for about a 15-minute segment. Casey Day found some of the better part. He boiled it down to the nuts and bolts here. So we're going to watch Stuttering John and Richard Ojeda and the making magic for the first time together.
And really the magic is not so much the content of the appearance. It's more the how.
Technical abilities.
Yeah, the technical abilities of
process.
the
This
producer,
is a process
of
story.
the guest. Yeah.
Yeah, so Richard was having some problems with the link John sent. I don't know. Do you have any theories on this? Do you think it was Richard's fault? Do you think it was John's fault? Why couldn't they figure this out?
I mean, knowing Richard, sure, but also knowing John's history of having trouble with, things like time zones, copying, pasting, sending emails.
Yes, there is some other guest on this episode. I forget who, but a guy.
It's Noel Kassler.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And he didn't have a problem getting on, so I assume John sent him the link. So it could be Richard's fault, but we'll see. John, he's a man of solutions, and he says, if the link isn't working, there are ways around this. Let's just get Richard on. So let's play this clip from back in the day with Richard and John.
Jake,
All right, check this out. Hold on. It's gonna be crazy, Noel. Hold on. Hey, Richard. Do you hear him? You hear him, Noel?
I can hear him. Yeah, barely. I don't know if your
So now, Blind
viewers
Mike,
can.
for
All right,
you,
hold on.
let me just explain that what Stuttering John is doing right now is holding up his phone to the screen on FaceTime with Richard Ojeda while he is doing his podcast.
I like the idea that it's going to be crazy. Like people are going to be sending this to
Wacky.
each other. Oh my God. Did you see John doesn't know how to get guests on his show? So he's holding up fucking speakerphone to his mic.
Hold on.
Turn your phone up. I can see him well.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to turn my phone up, and I'll hold the microphone.
Noel
to him.
Castler's a
Hold
real
on. All
team
right.
player for not being like, what the fuck are we doing here, John?
But John,
All right, Dan.
John has the, like, John's having a conversation with Noel Castler, and he's run out of things to talk about. So he's like, I know what to do. I'll bring someone else on that he can
Let me
talk to
call
while I
a
sit
guy
here.
on FaceTime.
Yeah. Say hello to everybody there, Richard. Do you hear him any better?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so here
Oh,
he
yeah, it's
is.
perfect.
This is it's too funny. I don't know why you can't get on the I don't know why you can't get on the link. Well, listen, first of all, thanks for your service. And, what do you think about what's going on in Virginia now with these freaking, they cut the cable?
Nothing surprises me.
What do
right
you
now.
think?
Things
Let me
that are
let me
going
just
on in
break
this
that down.
country.
Please
What-
do. For us less intellectuals.
What do you think is going on now in Virginia since they cut the cables? Now, a perfect pause, HACKRIDE.
Yes.
Perfect pause, because you will see at this moment, while Richard Ojeda is on, Susanna Melendez is calling. Susanna Melendez is trying to call
Richard's
ex-husband
gone.
Stuttering John
John,
Melendez.
I haven't gotten the check you said you sent.
It's amazing.
But
You know, we've got a guy-
I'm so focused on, like, Cardiff is a guest on today's program.
Mhm.
If I came into this Evie Muck's room and Casey Day said to me, "Hey, Cardiff isn't able to get on," he goes, "I don't know what's going on." I sent him the right link. He's not able to get on for some reason. If Casey Day said, "What if you just call him and put the phone up to the mic?" I would have just walked out and never done the show again. I would have been so annoyed.
Could we
He
actually try?
suggested such a horrible idea.
Could we actually try that?
Yeah, now it's a good idea.
Yeah, I want
I
to do
don't,
this
want,
now.
I don't want you to have my number.
I already have it. It's too late.
Damn it.
At the wheel. It's a sad day in America.
No, I know. But, I mean, is this going to affect anything?
Now, just
or you
again,
think
for the record, he hit end on the Susanna Melendez call. Doesn't matter what's wrong with the kids. Doesn't matter who needs me right now. Richard.
She'll understand. There's something happening in Virginia with the cables.
There's also something magical about putting her last name in there too. Like he's still hoping. Still
Which
that's
Susanna
your
is
wife.
it?
Exactly.
Oh, not her last name. Her former last name.
Yeah, exactly.
people already, have registered?
It's like primary election Kentucky, where they basically, closed all the polling stations.
Text messages are coming in.
areas
John,
where
call me.
It had everybody going to
911.
John, you promised your daughter a car if she speaks to you again.
And I've been watching a lot of your videos. Tell everybody what you think about the. Tell everybody what you
Down, close the mic.
That's green screen level. That's green screen level right there.
Oopsies.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to like Sean Hannity or Anderson Cooper? Does that just in the middle of their important political discussion?
Yes.
No, we
all
got
the time.
that was worth. This is worth a rewatch here.
And I've been watching a lot of your videos. Tell everybody what you think about the. Tell everybody what you think about the dotard known as Donald Trump.
Can I
Yes.
think he's a asshole who
So
only
wait, is
cares
he
about
known as the
himself and
dotard? Or
his-
is he known as Donald Trump?
Well, he's known as the dotard. Donald Trump, I only know because I'm really into politics. Most people don't know that's his name, but
I thought you were really big into
Known as
real estate
Donald.
investing.
that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Can I
Yes.
I think he's an asshole who only cares about himself and his family. Actually, he doesn't really care as much about his family. It's all about him. This
And
has been a
and
nightmare.
if you could pause, we've just seen that Stuttering John is almost the exact opposite because he hit end on his family when they were trying to call while he is talking about the dotard.
I do love, I'm glad you pointed out the Susanna Melendez part, because not just is it like, that's not her name anymore,
Yeah.
but maybe she's just always been in that phone, in his phone is that. The idea that I would have some signifier, like my girlfriend, like Alba parentheses girlfriend, or her last name, to like, which Alba is this calling me? I can't identify.
If it
Yeah.
said nice tits next to his wife's name, that would be the greatest thing.
Susanna Wet.
Oh goddamn!
3.5 years. I don't
Oh,
know.
And
she's calling
she's
again.
back.
She's
And
calling.
Susanna's calling again. Obviously something important. She's texting him. She's calling
no.
him.
Usually the second call, like if it's one call, it's probably important, but a second call is like, now I'm just being annoying, you know?
I'm going to stick it to him.
Yeah,
She's a Republican. She's like, I got to stop this propaganda from getting out there.
The world is going to be too educated.
She almost stopped the Army major from being a thing. She almost did it.
I'm seeing. And when I asked Joe Biden, he immediately come back with.
Is that? Did you edit it in some way that's choppy, or is that how you sound?
It's a little choppy. I did edit, but it would only cut out everything that was like a second and a half long. So it's just Richard taking huge breaks in between words for some reason, maybe because he can't be heard as well. But yeah, it's a little choppy because also what he says doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant to the story.
And again, for those just listening, John is crowding the microphone with his phone, trying to get his face in the shot, trying to get Richard Ojeda's face in the shot on FaceTime.
Meanwhile, there's a guest on the show.
Yeah.
This Noel Kessler guy's just waiting for someone to address him.
A man has taken time out of his Saturday afternoon to be on this program.
Yeah, took a break from combing that hair.
Yeah, no, I know. And what do you think about him calling the soldiers losers and suckers?
Richard, what do you think about him calling over and over again? Do you think that's a little rude while you're broadcasting? For Donald to keep calling, even though she knows this is the time I'm on the air.
I don't understand how anybody that's in uniform today or in the past can vote for this guy.
Speaking of the suppression, and no, you and I haven't talked about this yet. How about like these militants who are going to show up to the polls with guns to intimidate would-be voters? I mean, what? Since when has this ever happened in our election?
Well, we have a president of the United States that actually tweets "Liberate Michigan." I mean, we have a president that don't have the friggin' backbone to daggone basically denounce white supremacy. And I'll tell you what, I could care less
Remember
about
these
these jackass
2021 takes? These were fun.
showing
So
up at the
it
polls.
was actually October 13th, 2020. So we were just ramping up to the 2020 election. So these guys needed to be working hard right now. This is why we had to have Richard Ojeda on FaceTime at this
is
moment
crunch
in
time. Yeah, we can't
Yes.
just reschedule this. Voters, there are undecided voters watching this.
And Mike, I hate to give John some credit. It worked.
You know what it did? It did.
worked.
Because of this and severe rigging of the election.
No.
I'm trying to get my people back after last week.
Most of them were a part of Mill Team 6. You know, they're daggone look like they could sweat butter. I have no fear of none of these
Can you
daggone
pause it, HACKRIDE?
I do like Richard's insults, if I'm being honest.
Meal. I don't know if you heard Meal Team 6. I don't know if you heard that.
Because they're fat.
Because they're fat.
Yes.
That's right.
Richard, let's try and figure this out. You know, maybe you can come on from a different computer next time because I'd love to hear from you. But my
This
arms
is
get
after 15 minutes of having Richard on.
Maybe you can
More
go to
texts are
Best
flying
Buy.
in.
Yeah, Richard, I'll kill time with this Noel Kessler asshole if you want to run to the store and get yourself an HDMI cable.
getting tired from holding everything up right now.
Hey, no, I got it. I'm going to figure something out, man. John, let me tell you something. Anytime you want me on your show, brother, I'll be happy, more than happy to do it. I'm a huge
Has that ever
fan,
been
man.
said in interview history? Like, I'm trying to think of, as a kid, all the great interviewers, whether it's like on ESPN with like Jeremy Schaap or on CNN with the great Larry King. I'm trying to think of any of these people that have ever said, I got to cut the interview a little short. My wrist is getting tired from holding the phone up.
No, I don't believe so. Blunt.
I think Frost and Nixon. I think that was the only one. I
Is that how that ended?
He
I
had to
never
hold
saw
his
the
own
movie.
camera. Yeah, he's like,
We're gonna do this
Can we take a
all
break from the
day.
I'm tired.
You do make a great point because if, as an interviewer, if you're engaged in the conversation, like interviews aren't supposed to feel like work,
No.
right? Like it's supposed to be a natural. Whatever.
Sorry, Cardiff, we're gonna have to wrap this up.
I just started realizing what
I'm
I
getting
was
a
saying.
little
It's like, yeah, I'm tired. Wait.
been a fan for a while, man. So this is a true honor for me to come on here. And thank you for allowing me to speak about No Democrat Left Behind. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to voice my opinion.
All right, my brother. I will talk to you soon.
Hey, Richard, it's an honor. It's an
Hey,
honor.
I'm still here.
And he can't hear him, by the way.
No, of course not.
Yeah, okay.
How would he be able to?
Well, actually, no, he might be able to because John does not wear headphones, as you know. So he's using his,
Right. True.
his computer. So there might be some type of echoing audio getting back to Richard from Noel.
Wouldn't that? I'm surprised that doesn't affect John's side of the broadcast more. That he's not wearing. That it's just echoing out to his living room.
Well, he uses noise cancellation, I guess, in StreamYard. I don't know. It's he's always done it. He's very rarely worn headphones.
And it's always pristine quality. So
That's true.
Quality assurance is not John's thing. I think he just presses the button and goes.
Brother, everyone.
Sorry, no, I couldn't hold up my phone any longer.
That guy's
And,
my
and
favorite
if you could
guest.
pause again, this does look like peak spaghetti tooth John era.
Oh,
It
really?
does, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a,
I couldn't hold up my phone any longer.
That guy's my favorite guest you've had, and all the times I've been
As
on your
opposed
show.
to-
That guy needs to be in Congress.
And with your vote next
Yes.
November, he will be.
He will be
Not this
back.
one coming up, but the one after. Very exciting. It was a nice walk down memory lane to see how
like I said-
John used to do things.
Yeah, there was a 20-minute interview we could have played, but it was just like, no, we can't put your audience through that. The funny
political
part
stuff
was
is
how.
tough. Yeah.
yeah.
There are times, I will say, I think you and I are two of the few that do this, Cardiff. There are times where I will watch
Jack
the
off?
political show to this, yes.
Yes.
I'll watch the political show, and there are great moments because, as a guy who covered specifically Richard Ojeda, peak Richard is when he's interacting with the chat. And when someone says, "Hey, Richard, how about all the kids you dealt with over in
What about those
Iraq?"
little brown boys in Afghanistan?
He will respond to them with the fire of 10,000 suns. He does not brush that off for a moment. So there are great moments in John's political show,
Mhm.
which leads me to the question, Cardiff, as an expert.
Yes.
Do you have a theory as to why John did those two? He's like, I'm done. I've retired, except for these two political shows. Why did he do those?
Honestly, I really feel like he wanted to continue the political shows.
Mhm.
He wanted to keep going, but he could only get Richard and Brian to commit to 2 more shows.
You think so? Because Richard seems pretty ride or die. I could see Karam getting a little tired of it, but Richard, I think, would do it until the sun burns out.
So Richard is running for whatever he's running for. I don't know if it's Congress
True.
or Senate, whatever.
It is Congress, I believe.
So he might realize that those angry super chatters, that the toxicity doesn't exactly help him.
Mhm.
If you noticed his last political show, Richard Ojeda was a no-show. John was panicking. His phone was ringing in the other room. He had to leave because that could be Richard. That could be Richard on FaceTime. Maybe I can get him on FaceTime again.
It's sad when a guy changes. John's no different than Howard Stern. He's changed over there. Back in the day, it peaked John. He would have just held the phone up to the microphone, and now he's gone Hollywood.
But wouldn't that have been a great end to the Stutter John podcast? Like the bookends on the Richard Ojeda
Of
chapter.
course, yes.
Start with FaceTime, end with FaceTime. But no,
This is like Seinfeld, where it ends with the same conversation.
yeah,
Richard,
exactly.
Richard, what about the Virginia cables? You got anything yet?
What's happened with that? Any updates?
Any updates? 5 years later. Yeah. So, what do you think? John's done for good? I haven't paid too much attention to him.
No, I
He's
think
gone?
I think he'll be back at some point. I think he's going to keep popping in. He knows he's not gonna let his monetization lapse like he did last time. That won't happen. He'll
Right.
find a way to keep
He's
occasionally putting shows. He has learned for now. For now, he could
Are
forget.
you going to pony up the $1,000 to get him back on? It was such a good investment last time.
No, I will not.
Okay.
It's not worth the fun.
I wonder how much
doesn't-
money. How much money did Kevin Brennan waste? Do we know that?
I thought it was
$3,000?
3,000. Yeah.
3,000.
What a tremendous waste of money. And he was on every day saying the same thing after that.
Well, I
He
mean,
has
the
put
first
out-
one was
Okay.
special. I guess
Yeah.
we all watched.
It really was special.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, he did put out a tweet that says he will come back right for $1,000. So I've heard Chad and Kevin throwing that number around, and Chad's like, "Don't pay him." And
it would be
Kevin's
such
like,
a waste of their money. But I hope
Wait,
they-
Chad said don't pay him?
Chad said to
I wonder
Kevin,
why.
"Don't pay John. Don't pay," because John got his channel struck down and shit. So,
That's too bad.
Blind Mike, we have some super chats.
Oh well, then let's read them.
I saw Cardiff's name in them, so Cardiff, stick around. Electra, are you there to read some super chats?
I am.
Here we go.
John B, 5 pounds, beer, cheese, and Blind Mike. Never caught the show live before, but never miss an episode on my feed. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you being here live.
Saudi Homer became a member. Thank you, Saudi Homer. It's a Saudi Arabian Homer Simpson.
You can watch. You can check out the Paula Poundstone episode early, where we talk about. She has a weird history that doesn't come up in interviews. It's very strange, but Paula Poundstone had an interesting career that we talked about on Why Are You Laughing? That is up for members right now.
Excellent. Go ahead, Electra.
And Saudi Homer sent in 50 Saudi rupees, maybe. Good evening, everyone. Happy Ramadan.
Oh, same to you, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Joyous Eid to
whatever.
all.
That's like one of the few ones that I think is actually worth more than $1. The Saudi Arabian money.
Oh, good.
Yes,
Keep pumping.
it's red.
Keep pumping
It's
us
red,
full of
Mike.
that.
It's red.
And John B says, be meaner to Craig. Aw.
People say I'm mean to Craig. I don't really see it that way. I felt I was fairly open-minded with him last week. But
Nothing.
I mean, the
like
guy
you
said
do.
he's an edgelord. What more? How nice can I be to him? I was about as nice as I could be.
Isn't edgelord a title that other people are supposed to give you?
Mhm.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
so- Craig wearing those branded shirts that say "I'm an edgelord" is a little gross to me.
Self-titled edgelord.
You can see the underwear.
Coney. All right, Electra.
And Box Eating Dad says, me and Chef Louie are the biggest VGS fans, and we would be annoyed. R.I.P. Mike Harris. Corey Harris makes 2,000K.
Yeah. Well, Craig, he always says to me, and he says this off air. I think he's workshopping it to bring it on there, but he always says that's just what you get when you live life on the credge. And I said I don't know if that's got staying power. I don't know if it's going to work.
Coming in with 199, Paul Shea says, I know you won't read this, but great show anyway.
Thank you, buddy.
I
And we
read
did
it, Paul.
Yeah.
A few more here.
We're not
Chef-
scared of your compliments.
Chef Lewis, keep VGS out of the mainstream.
I get it. Yeah, you are best when you're living on the fringes. That's what happens to all these guys when they reach a certain level of success. They become boring. They want to keep their status, so they're afraid of doing anything that could get in the way of that. And that's what I think would happen if Craig was on YouTube. All the attention would get to him, especially in such a plum spot like after WATS, as if that like that would matter in any way.
I don't know if you want to
Trying
hear
to help.
This. I don't know if you want to hear this, Blind Mike, but
Go
as a young potato,
Mhm.
I wanted to get a tattoo.
Okay.
I wanted to get a tattoo on my bicep. I don't even know what it was,
Nice.
but I was going to get it like John's Lars Skolson tattoo. I wanted my bicep with a
Okay.
giant. And I remember going to the tattooist,
Yeah.
the artist, and saying, I'm really thinking I'm going to start working out. If I get this tattoo on my
Oh, no.
bicep and then my arms get huge, like, is it going to distort?
Yeah.
And I remember the guy looking at me like, I mean, yeah, if you got like freakishly huge, sure, it would be. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll wait. I'll wait for the tattoo until I've completed my body transformation.
And
I'm
you
still waiting to
don't
get
have
that
it.
first tattoo,
I was
by the
I
way.
was going to ask. Any big? Okay.
None.
Craig on his bicep has tattooed badass motherfucker. So you know not to mess with him.
And
All right.
Obama.
Super chat from Dominic says, where are my Craigophiles at? Preposterous.
They're all over. They're everywhere. You can go to a certain website and see exactly where they are.
Thank goodness.
And Gross Hackamania VIP Tim Bullinger. Thank you, Cardiff.
Thank you, Gross Hackamania VIP Tim Bollinger. Promo code COME.
Yes.
And thank you, Super Chatters. That's all.
Yes, thank you, folks. Very kind. We appreciate your generosity with super chats. Now, I want to get into something, Cardiff. This may be a little sensitive to you. If you want to step out for this, Feel free if you're under some
No.
contractual obligation. I know that Carl runs things with a pretty tight fist over there at WATP, and he's
all right.
I know he's forced you to make certain games that make it seem like you don't respect Tom Meyers. But I wanted to just take a brief segment to acknowledge that there's a new game in town. There's a new sheriff in town, and he's not taking Carl's crap anymore. And I appreciate that. So Tom Meyers has been live streaming, and we haven't really checked in on it, but I know for a fact that there's a guy in Rochester, or dare I say a lady, quaking in her boots right now because Tom Meyers is coming for everyone.
Hold on. I think the first time I saw, you're talking about the morning show?
Yes.
The Tom Meyers morning show?
Yeah.
I believe the first message I sent to Carl about this was, Tom Meyers' morning grift is like the $6 million man. He took Kevin's format, Chad's clever commentary, Stalin 19's clips, and John's neighbor's Wi-Fi. He's the $6 million man of podcasting.
I think I see what you're saying. If I can decipher all of that,
please.
I think what you're saying is that comedic greats all have influences. We talk about this on Why You Laughing all the time, where, comedians that are successful now, you can kind of boil it down to, hey, they have a little influence from, Richard Pryor or Brian Regan or Dave Attell or whoever. The little dashes, you can tell who they grew up watching based on their current voice. And I think that's what you're saying about Tom Meyers, is he watched some of the greats, took a little from each, and was able to improve on all of those. Am I picking up what you're throwing out there?
I would like you to expand on your definition of improve, but sure.
Enhance, change in an interesting way.
Well,
am I wrong about that?
Well, you're not right.
Well, let's see. I'm going to work to convince you of this. I think you're under that WATP spell that I've been able to break out of.
You know what? You turned me on to Joe Matarese when Carl wasn't able to.
Mm-hmm.
Like Carl, every time I go to Rochester, he would show me pictures of Joe Matarese and play with my nipples, trying to get me erect. But you, in 5 minutes, you're like, hey, I get this Joe Matarese guy. You showed me the light, so maybe you can show me the light with Tom Meyers.
I hope I can do that. I just wanted to check in briefly. We're not going to spend too much time on my buddy Tom, but I just wanted to promote that he's doing a show, and it is. Unlike Cardiff's trying to portray something because of what his bosses tell him to do, but I think it's a very new and interesting idea. So let's talk a little about Tom Meyers here.
Let's do it.
No one outed me for being a rapist.
Nope, sorry.
What the hell? That's the wrong clip, I think.
Yeah, he has the streaming bug, Mike.
He certainly does.
I feel content doing what I'm doing for now. Mike, and listen, am I like the greatest live streamer in the world right now? No, I'm just.
And I disagree, but it's nice that he's humble. Like, it's nice to go into this humble because so many people are taken by ego. You hear John and Kevin Brennan, these types. For Tom to kind of come at it with humility and say, "Listen, I'm not the greatest, but I'm working at it." I think that's something.
The one of my favorite words over the last few weeks, Blind Mike, that I can't use in this case unless I say the one thing blind Tom Meyers doesn't suffer from is hubris.
Yes,
hubris.
There you go. Yeah.
This just started off as just a little bullshit birthday stream that I did.
That's right.
Driving to my local casino to celebrate my birthday. And then
alone.
I started streaming from the hotel when I had to evacuate after a windstorm, and then the bug just got me, so I started doing this.
So
he's been bitten by the bug.
An origin story.
You got to dig a little deeper there, Blind Mike. The obviously the casino that he was at was a teepee, and they had to evacuate due to a windstorm.
He's one of these guys. Tom Meyers lives by the seat of his pants, and he's one of these road comics that always has crazy stories. And no matter how successful he is, he's one of these guys that's kind of reached a certain level of being established, and he has a certain audience that has been around for a number of years. But you're still like, man, this guy can't get it together. And I think that's what makes him appealing to so many people, is even though he's been in comedy for as long as he has, he still feels like one of us.
That's true.
And then I started reacting to stuff, and that culminated into my commenting on Steel Toe's show and trolling him, which is easy because he says a lot of shit I just don't agree with, and is just pretty goddamn stupid.
Yeah, so he's been bitten by the streaming bug. Like, there's a guy, for many years he bashed it, and I think that's big of him to acknowledge, like, hey, I criticized all these guys for doing it, but when I saw there was a few dollars in it, I started doing exactly that. And I think that's bold of him to admit that. A lot of people would kind of run and hide from it, but Tom is forthright in saying, I was critical of this for a long time, but when I saw there was money to be made, I started doing it.
It's honesty.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit for honesty.
Thank you.
Yeah. The most honest podcast.
Yes. Real. Above all else, he's real.
He is real.
Gets you nothing. Meyers verse is the next one.
So this is where things are like, Tom's different than a lot of the other shows. So when you're watching Tom, it's not the Dabble verse. It's not the Steel Toe verse. You're entering the Meyers verse, a wholly unique world that Tom has created, and he'll explain that to us and why it's so different.
So, and I became the subject of a couple of podcasts I noticed that night. Patrick Melton finally covered me, which was interesting.
Finally, like it was inevitable.
It was only a matter of time before that guy. I mean, that guy, I got to tell you something. He's going to go for the low-hanging fruit, you know? Like, and that's something I don't really respect. We here, much like Tom, we don't talk about the same 8 people everyone else talks about. You know, like me and Tom will talk about like Patrick Melton. And I think that makes us stand out from everyone else.
And I watched his critique of my stream, and like I really can't take any of Patrick Melton's critiques seriously.
Nor should you, Tommy.
Just because like that's pretty much the whole basis of his show is just watching other shows. Like I try and do something a little bit different here. Like I try and just have content other than what's going on in the Dabbleverse, the Hackverse, the Shitverse.
Now hold on. If you could pause it.
Yeah.
Didn't he intro this by saying he watches Steel Toe clips?
Yes,
Watches...
that's exactly right.
Oh, so he does it different though.
Oh, it's totally different. So like on this is Friday's show.
Please explain, Mike. Please.
This is Friday's show, and he for the entire time talked about Aaron Imholt. And what was interesting is like he played clips of Aaron and he reacted to them and added commentary. And so that was Tom's show. I think it's. Are you seeing other people doing that?
No.
Recently?
Yeah.
I mean, no, not since the 90s.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, it is in a way sort of retro, and I think Tom would say he's paying homage to guys like Howard Stern, maybe, but no one else is really. It's untread upon ground that Tom is doing, and I think that's pretty interesting. Like he's kind of created his own niche of the Dabbleverse. Like if you want to see these shows that talk about the same bullshit all the time, like go watch WATP, quite frankly. But if you want to see someone talk about something like Aaron Imholt, go watch Tom Meyers, and I'm genuinely recommending that.
And Patrick Melton, for a while, all he did was just stream snipe Chad's show in the morning.
You're not doing
in the
that.
morning. Feels like the morning to me because that's when I used to get up regularly. But he would just stream snipe Chad's show and just leave it on.
Life.
So like, Patrick Melton really doesn't have any content. So his,
I mean, this guy. If I could just add on to what Tom's saying, this guy Patrick Melton was yelling at an orange last week. Do you know what a mental patient you would have to be to spend 30 or 40 minutes of your show screaming at a guy in an orange filter? Like that's mental illness.
Demented.
Yes. So I'm glad Tom is so much different from these other shows because he doesn't get into those muddy waters.
His analysis isn't really worth covering because I don't want to bore your brain cells more than I already have. And then, and then WATP covered me. That video isn't online yet. I just happened to check their their website, what episodes they put out.
And that's the thing. And I've told Carl not to do this, and he doesn't listen to me. And it's pretty fucking annoying, if you ask me. I say, Carl, put your episodes online. And he says, I won't. I'll only put them on my website.
Yes.
It's very frustrating because I say, no, Carl, they need to be online. And he says, no, I'm not into this online niche.
Has Carl talked about the mail order catalog he's working on?
Yes. He sequesters all these
You get 10 episodes for a penny.
Yeah.
And then you get one episode every month in the mail.
We'll talk after. I know a good way to work around that system. You actually end up making money off of that.
Oh, good.
But yeah, he doesn't put his episodes online. He just puts them on his website, which is a totally different. He uses Web3 for that, I believe. And it's very like people don't really have it. But the other thing I want to pay attention to there is Carl will make fun of Tom for doing these streams, and he'll be like, oh, he's like all these other guys that stream. And what you're hearing Tom say there, I think, is very true. Carl made him do this. You know, Carl sucked him into this web. And Tom said, all right, motherfucker, you want to play ball? Let's play ball. I hope you brought your glove, because Tom is a pro. You know, Tom's not playing any of that little kid shit. He's not playing Little League here. This is the New York Yankees that Carl is dealing with, and I'm not sure he's prepared for it.
I mean, he's wearing an Orioles jersey, so I'd assume he's...
I'm sorry, the Orioles. I think they were better than the Yankees this year.
It's the worst jersey in baseball. That's a fact check.
No, the Yankees made it to the World Series. What a terrible fan I am. I forgot that they were in the World Series.
The Orioles had a great season.
They were okay.
Arizona Diamondbacks, worse uniform.
Oh, they covered my stream, but it's basically just the same thing. It's just they're gonna look to shit on me just for the sole purpose of shitting on me, which is fine.
And that's what I want to say is like that is what Carl does, and it's like we got it, man. You think you're better than these people? What Tom is doing on his stream is he's playing clips of Steel Toe, and he's commenting on them in kind of a critical way. Like he's taking clips of Aaron and critiquing them. You know, like saying this is what Aaron could be doing better. This is mockable what Aaron did. What Carl does is just hateful, and it's frankly gross at this point. You know, and it's been done to death. What Tom is doing, I think, is so unique and different, and it's revolutionary, which is why I wanted to promote people watch these streams. I think he does them on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yes.
So check these out because it's a totally different taste, and like, you know,
Tuesdays and Thursdays are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday is recovery days.
And we're gonna show how much people are kind of ripping off Tom already. We have like an hour and a half Steel Toe segment planned because Tom has opened the door to that type of stuff happening. Before, no one was really talking about Aaron Imholt, and now you kind of see a lot of people copying that.
You know, I might just start stream sniping these episodes. They're that good.
It is. It's something, and you know what I think will happen is a lot of people will end up watching your show because Tom is so entertaining, and I think that's often what happens with some of these innovative guys.
Mike, this next one's called Sucked In.
We already mentioned it a little bit, but it was unfair. Carl was begging Tom, come into the Dabbleverse. Talk about the Dabbleverse. Please, we need you in the Dabbleverse. And then when Tom steps in the Dabbleverse, Carl runs and hides and shits on him for it.
Like he always does.
That's right.
That's the criticism that people have of me. They say, "Oh, Tom's trying to shoehorn his way into the Dabbleverse. It's sad.
No.
It's pathetic." I'm like, that could be nothing could be further from the truth.
Absolutely.
Like I got sucked into this bullshit.
Like
I don't really.
He
go
makes
out
it sound like he's preparing coffees at his barista job, and the lineup is a buzz about Tom's entry. Hey, Tom, I hear you're going into the Dabbleverse. I hear you're dipping your toe into the Dabbleverse.
That's if I hear Lady K say to me one more time, how do we get Tom talking more about us? I'm like, I don't know, Carl, do your own show, you know? Like it was really gross that they were begging Tom over and over again to get into this world. And then when he does it, they shit on him for it. There's no way this guy wins.
Seeking rivalries. Like I'll admit, I'll go ahead and troll people. Just if I think something's funny. But it's like I get sucked into this world. I'm like I feel like I'm an unwilling
He's being raped frankly. He's being raped against his will by Lady K. And I'm here to say, Team Tom. I don't know
No
what
one
he
outed
said.
me for being a rapist.
I think Mike just did.
I didn't even put that together. Yeah, he's already addressed it, apparently.
This one's called No Deleting.
Oh, well, this is good. This is so people have been saying that Tom's deleting old stand-up clips because people like Cardiff, by the way, you're probably part of the problem here now that I think about it.
Tom.
People like Cardiff are looking at Tom's old stand-up clips and they're doing something very unfair. They're taking them, years later. Like Tom's killing in the room, and then years later we're being like, oh, this bit is out of date or whatever. And I really don't think it's fair. And Tom realizes it's not fair. So here he is clearing up. I think Aaron is the one who said, like, oh, Tom's deleting videos. Tom's here to clear that up. So let's make no mistake about it.
Well, look, that's from my show. That's from an excerpt from a show that I did. That's from a clean show I did. That's why the video is only like 30 seconds long, because I can't do clean shit because it sucks.
Once
and I don't
they
enjoy
cut
it,
out
but
all the cuss words, there's nothing left.
He's a bad boy. Like, you can't contain Tom Meyers. If you play a Tom Meyers clip and try to clean it up for TV or radio, I got news for you. You got dead air. Like, I don't know what to tell you, because people, much like Craig, people just can't. It would piss everyone off if you went. I've seen Tom Meyers live, and luckily I have a fairly strong stomach for this sort of stuff. I have a high tolerance for edge. So I was able to take it, but a lot of the people were outraged at what they were seeing.
But Craig is a bridge too far.
Craig's a little much. Yeah.
Okay.
Dat Fan was outraged for other reasons. So.
He certainly was, yes.
Aaron, I have not been deleting my clips. Do I go ahead and clean up my channel? Yeah. Is there some stuff on there that I think, maybe it's not good? I'll go ahead and take it down. Absolutely. Do I make some stuff private? Do I have someone listed?
No, go back.
What?
He's not deleting video. What don't you get about this?
He's doing housekeeping.
That's right. He's not deleting videos. Is he tidying up some odds and ends? Is he removing content so that it's not there anymore? Sure. But he's not deleting videos like some asshole. So for guys like Aaron to just throw that out there, I think it's slanderous. Like, I don't know if Tom has any legal recourse here. Maybe not, because Aaron could claim, parody and that sort of thing. The coward's way out. But I think there's cause for a lawsuit here, because people are saying Tom's deleting videos, and he explains, is he doing some spring cleaning, a little dusting? Sure, but there's no deleting going on here. Let me hear that again.
A little Swiffer.
I heard this, Mike, and that's when I texted you. I've never heard anyone more Michael Scott than this guy. This is a statement. If you imagine Michael Scott.
Do you mean hilarious? Yes, one of the best characters of all time. Absolutely.
And if you notice though too, his search for that video was Tom Meyers August 2021. I think he had a very specific search that he put into Google.
That's when
to bring up those videos.
That's when he was at his best. We all remember the summer of 21, and that's a Meyers summer, I like to call it.
That's why the video is only 30 seconds long, because I can't do clean shit because it sucks and I don't enjoy it. But Aaron, I have not been deleting my clips.
No.
Do I go ahead and clean up my channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there some stuff on there that I think, maybe it's not good? I'll go ahead and take it down.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do I make some stuff private? Do I have some unlisted stuff up there? Because if I want to go online, do I want to go ahead and listen to something, a new bit that I'm working on?
Obviously.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But it's I don't delete stuff because people are out there looking for it.
If he has a new bit that he's working on, the place for him to find it, to review it, again, the bit that he's working on is on his YouTube channel.
Correct.
So it's a work in progress on his YouTube. So when it's a finalized joke, then he takes it down? Is that how this works?
Exactly. Yes, right. And it's frankly wrong of people like you and Lady K to sneak onto his YouTube channel and surreptitiously steal things. I think it's theft. Steal things that he's working on and just play them on your shows and mock them. Sure, could you go to open mics and be like, this guy's a fucking asshole? Well, those are young comics that are developing. That's what Tom is doing. Page to stage, my friend. And for you guys to just go on his YouTube channel like it's some thrift store that you're sifting through, it's wrong. And so is he deleting videos? No. He's cleaning them up. He's making them private or just taking them down. He's not deleting them. Where are you getting that idea?
I would pay $1,000 for his unlisted videos. For every single one of his unlisted and private videos.
Maybe we can talk. Tom, if you're willing to talk, I've got you a nice offer here.
Cardiff, have you ever noticed anyone's head do this thing with the green screen? I've never seen anyone. I've never seen it before. It's like his hair is so fuzzy, Mike, that the green screen goes around his head like a giant halo.
Well, it's Andy Kaufman-esque, you know, like Andy did the bit with the desk much higher than his guest, that sort of thing. And I think that's what Tom is doing with his new talk shows. He's playing with the format a little bit. Like there are a lot of shows that use green screens the way they're supposed to be used, you know, just boring. And Tom's seeing that, and he's saying, well, what can I do with it to put the Meyers stamp on it?
I don't. If anything, I oversaturate myself. I oversaturate YouTube with everything.
Yes. There's too much Meyers out there.
That's what I say.
There probably is.
Said that for years. And that is
this is a guy. This is a guy who has put out countless comedy albums, and he's put out all sorts of content. Why is he going to delete his videos? You know, like, does he polish them up once in a while? Sure, but he's not deleting anything. That's important.
Now, Mike, I know you told me at the beginning of the show not to look at the port chat, but I have to because Cardiff's Kids is describing the green screen effect perfectly as the Mr. Burns radiation alien effect.
You know what? Cardiff's Kids might have been in Tom's chat because I heard him address a similar. He's like, "Oh, you're doing that thing where you make fun of me for looking like Mr. Burns."
Perfect.
Also, I wanted to promote that because, you know, I hear you guys speaking nasty of my friend Tom, and Tom also invited himself on this show. He had a date. He had a certain date that he was able to do it by, and I apologize to Tom. I'm just bad with getting back to people with that stuff. So I got lazy and forgot. Tom, I'm sorry. We'll get you on at some point in the future if you have other dates that can work. But I know he gave me a specific date that I missed and I fucked up. So I wanted to take a chance to at least promote my buddy and say this is what he's doing 3 times a week. That is really unique and interesting.
I just have a feeling at your year-end review of comedy specials, which you do every year on Why You Laughing.
I do, yes.
I have a feeling Tom is going to be top 3 this year.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. I hope he puts out another round. It's been a while since Make America Innate Again. We've been innate for about a decade now.
I'm tired of being innate.
We're due.
Hey, Cardiff.
Yes.
You're sort of one of the heads of the Dabbleverse here. There was a question here. I don't understand any of the names in it, but can you read this out loud and answer it for us, please?
Of course.
I don't understand this one.
All right.
Mike. This is from John T. Mike.
Okay.
No value, no dollar value here, but Casey felt that this was important. Mike, can you bring Kirk Minihane into the Dabbleverse somehow? Minihane.
I mean, I did about as close with it. Did you ever see this, Cardiff? Did you see when we called the FBI on the Kirk Minihane show?
No.
This is like a year ago, or whenever John was threatening all of us, and my name got thrown into that lawsuit. Yes. Kirk said on air, "Why don't we give the FBI a call and get to the bottom of this? See what kind of trouble Mike is going to be in."
Good.
We spent, I mean, maybe close to an hour, if I remember right. Like, it was a long time. Hitting numbers on automated fucking lists and trying to get routed to someone. Eventually, we were just hung up on because it's so difficult to talk to someone at the FBI. And our discovery that day was basically, there's no way John went through any of this. He would have gotten so frustrated.
Drain the swamp.
Yeah, so that might be the closest we got. I don't know if he's going to come back and want to talk about John too much.
All right.
All right.
And
can you give me Kirk's autograph?
I'll do what I can. Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Who? All right, Mike. Where do you want to go now? It's toe time. If Cardiff's.
Do you object to this, Cardiff? I know you're kind of a steel toe hater.
I don't object. I'm not a steel toe hater. That's
not hater.
An inaccurate
It is. I'm sorry. I should say not necessarily into steel toe coverage.
Exactly. But again, you could be the guy. You might be Tukey's.
I do have a way with you. That's true.
You could be the guy. You know what, Mike? I respect your approach to everything. You're you're an old soul. I respect that about you.
Thank you.
You use old timey phrases that I like.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
maybe you can be the guy that gets me there.
All right, I'll try my best. These typically run a little long, so if you have to go at any point, use the code word that you so subtly gave us before the show.
I won't say it now. I don't want to confuse.
Yes,
I might get confused.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Because steel toe, for those of you that aren't aware, he is on the cusp of 6 weeks of perfection. And this has never been done. If you guys know the history of the goal, I assume this has never been done. Or maybe it has. I'm not really sure. Records on this are a little tough because they're constantly changing. But I don't know that 6 weeks has ever been done. So this is like a guy going for his 3rd straight no-hitter. Like, I don't know how he's going to do it. But we'll see. We'll see if we can.
You think there's a few asterisks in the record books?
Perhaps, yes. Particularly because it was only 2 weeks ago that we watched Aaron do something I would not claim is perfect. Mm-hmm. We had an ending. I think you were on that one, Casey.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was striving for perfection on that necessarily.
This one's called...
He does this thing. I'll explain to Cardiff. He does this thing, like if he doesn't hit the goal, he gets to the end of his show and he goes, all right, there's 30 seconds left. We only need $40. Are you guys going to hit it? Like, come on, just one $40 donation gets us to the goal. And then the last 3 seconds, he'll go 3, 2.5, 2 2/4. I don't know. I feel like some donations might come in, and then he'll extend it like 15 minutes just so he hits the goal. It's very exciting.
I hate to embarrass you, Blind Mike, but 1/2 and 2/4 would be the same value.
Did I say 2/4?
You did.
I'm sorry, 1/4.
That's better.
All right, let's get into it before Cardiff corrects my math again and makes a fool of me.
You watch John way too much, Cardiff.
I know.
Recreate that moment. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Steel Toe Morning Show, the last goal-related show of the week.
Can I ask you a question, Blind Mike? Can you explain the
Please.
goal to me? Like, maybe you can explain.
How do you mean?
Well, like, I'm a Coca-Cola, for example. You know, when they sell a product, like Coca-Cola, for example.
I get it.
They're selling it based on the consumer enjoying the product, right?
Right.
They're not selling it like the purchaser of Coca-Cola doesn't care how much Coca-Cola has sold, do they? Are they buying Coca-Cola because of the profitability of Coca-Cola or because of the taste?
Okay, well, let me throw this at you.
Okay.
What you're missing is there is a fixed price for Coca-Cola.
There is.
Let's say Coca-Cola was free. And every day you could walk into a store and just walk out with a nice cold Coke. 2 liters, 20 out, whatever, a case of Coke, whatever you decide you want that day, you can take it. Take the Coke with you. No big deal.
It's a great business model.
Eventually, you would kind of feel like, God, I owe this Coca-Cola brand so much. And you would kind of feel obligated to be like, well, maybe I've gotten $20 worth of enjoyment out of this Coke. Maybe I've gotten $100. Some people give $300-400 a week. So I think that's the system. Is Aaron is saying, like, take the content for free, and then once you've calculated a number in your head that it's worth, pay me what you owe. Does that make sense?
But again, I think Aaron in this case is putting the value on the Coca-Cola.
By setting the goal?
By setting the goal. I think this is where the confusion lies.
But again, Coca-Cola says, hey, we need to make $3.8 billion in revenue this year.
So they do have a goal.
You guys talk amongst yourselves and figure out how you're going to disperse that. Like, how you're going to divvy that up.
All right. Now it makes sense. I got it.
You
Okay,
know,
thank you.
So there's 8 billion of us on the planet. If we all give $1, they more than double their goal.
And what's the goal for next year? $1.50?
That's right.
All right.
You guys are ahead by $40. And it's my oldest daughter's birthday. And a win today means that it's 6 weeks of perfection. And there gets to be a lot of, as kids like to say, a little bit of a coping and a little bit of the seething.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm very
you know how the
happy
kids
to
are saying it. You have your finger on the pulse of what the kids are talking about. So that's what's really exciting. It's not just another day, because sometimes I wake up and I say, yes, we're going to hit the fucking goal today. But there are other days where I'll admit it's a little embarrassing, but I say like, we'll hit the goal, I guess, begrudgingly almost. I'm like, yeah, we'll hit it's like brushing your teeth. It's like something I got to do. But then Aaron says, hey, it's also my daughter's birthday. And let's not forget this. We are on the cusp of 6 weeks of perfection. And that's when I get rock hard for goal.
Shouldn't the oldest daughter's birthday, as he's claimed, shouldn't that be a bigger goal? Like, isn't that a special day? Like, isn't that a more special show?
For us, you're saying? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It is a big deal to us because we want to make sure that this little girl has a great birthday and that daddy's able to pay for all the gifts.
Yeah. Nothing like doxing a minor's birthday to get your show going.
Yeah, it's important.
Create both.
All right, this one's called Big Plans, Mike.
Yeah, so we just talked about it, the daughter's birthday. This is something like we just shouldn't know about. I know Cardiff has been part of these discussions so often when Stuttering John will say they were trashing my kids. And it's like, well, how does anyone know? Why do these people know all your kids' names, their sexuality? Why do people know so much about their kids? It's because John talks about them constantly. This
As
is something,
shields.
Yes, exactly. And that's kind of what Aaron is doing here. But it's actually, I'm hesitant to say this because we can discuss the measurements. But it might be worse than the way John does it, because this is saying like, hey guys, I have a kid, and how good her birthday is hangs in the balance with your donations, which is fun.
Album. Look what I did. Check this out. Sorry, I got my Viking sweatpants on today.
It's exciting.
Look what I did. It's my daughter's birthday, and I already got her Weird Al tickets for her birthday.
I'm sure that's what a 10-year-old wants.
Grab her, she wants a new pair of
Is he going to play Eat It, Dad?
I just mentioned I was thinking about doing an episode about Weird Al for Why You Laughing, and Carl immediately was like, I'm a huge Weird Al fan. And I happen to know that most 10-year-olds, I'm not going to be so bold as to say all, but most 10-year-olds say, Papa, for my birthday, can I go where Carl Hamburger is rocking out? He's just like us kids. We all want to hang together and see Amish paradise.
I do want to.
Go ahead, Card.
I do want to point out that he picked these tickets up off of the floor. So this is such a special. Either his printer is on the floor as he printed these tickets to show, or they're just laying on the floor.
Well, he probably gave them to the daughter yesterday, and she went Yahoo and threw them up in the air.
They were definitely thrown.
Other things, and we're gonna have some cupcakes today, and we're gonna do the cake on Friday so more people can come. And
hold on, let me write
enjoy.
that down. Let's pause this real quick, Casey. So today, so that means Friday she was having cupcakes. I just want to get this all right. And Saturday, does that mean Saturday she was having the cake? Just so I have this.
Did we miss the cake?
I think we did, but I just like to have for my records. I like to make sure that I know when his daughter and the rest of his family was eating cake versus cupcakes, because then I can just kind of make a mental note. And then if I run into them today, I'll be like, okay, they had cupcakes Friday and cake Saturday, so I know they probably don't want sweets today. A break maybe.
And no, throw those records on the floor.
Boy, and give gifts and stuff. But today we're just kind of doing the us birthday.
Oh, nice.
And then tomorrow we'll do the big birthday. We'll do.
That's when the public is allowed to come.
At Stoney's.
Yeah.
Come to my oldest daughter's birthday party at Stoney's.
That's
Buy a
when
gift card.
it opens up for the masses. Where like if you're
Yes.
trying to get in, there's the small ceremony with the family, and then we do the Staples Center for the big birthday party.
I figured she would enjoy this as one of the free gifts. You got the gifts you buy, and you got some of the free, like the I love you gifts. I figure she really would appreciate.
What are the other gifts? So there are I love you gifts. Are these like, I don't really give that much of a fuck about you.
There's the I love you gifts, and then here you go, cunt gifts. Here you go.
Free gifts are like you got a free mug at some dealership, and that's what you give to your daughter for her birthday.
The I love you gifts are all steel toe merch.
Yeah, basically.
No, he goes into the prize closet at the radio station and pulls out something that's sitting in the corner.
Oh, I know you've been asking for a koozie. Is that right?
Walks into Stoney's with an armful of twisters.
Stand back, kid. I've got my T-shirt cannon. Catch.
Able to sing along with the.
I think says I love you like the toe.
Yes.
Printed out the lyrics to Hands of Time, and all I can say, guys, it's gonna be a fun car ride today. It's gonna be a fun.
It's always
car
good.
ride.
It's always good, spontaneous fun when Dad has printed out lyrics to a song. But why are you telling us this? Like, can you imagine if you're a kid and your dad was online telling the world, "Here's what my daughter gets for her birthday. Here's all the music she likes."
I wouldn't want my dad talking privately to someone at his work about these things. Like, let alone
shut up. You think you wouldn't want him talking to like his buddies about it? Would you want him talking to goblins on the internet who think he's a gay, cokehead, swinging criminal?
Well, no, yeah, that's fine.
Tom Meyers beef.
Oh, well, we'll play a little bit of this because Tom Meyers does have steel toe beef. I don't want to get too much into it, but I just want to show you steel toe's response. Where much like Tom, Aaron always has his finger on the pulse of what's happening. Where he's very quick to some of this Tom Meyers stuff.
So this guy Tom Meyers tried to take shots at Steel Toe and then ended up just becoming a fan. It's the weirdest
How
thing
could
ever.
you not?
I'm using My Lost Interest, MGD, and Numero Uno Josh Denny fan as my sources on this. And
Good sources.
they said he tried to like do a I'm gonna make fun of Steel Toe thing, which I saw some of this guy. He's fucking atrocious. If he ever dreams he's in my league, he'd better wake up and apologize.
Well, I got news for you, Aaron. Unfortunately, he is exactly in your league. That is the corner of the internet that you both exist in. No matter whether you think you're better than Tom or funnier or whatever, you are 100% in the same league. And the way I know that is it's the same people watching you. All the only people that know Tom Meyers and Aaron are doing a show, they're all the same guy.
There's a dozen or so. Like, I checked into Steel Toe early when Carl, when there was a mandate from Carl to support Steel Toe early on.
Yes.
When we were told he was one of us.
They were best friends, I believe.
They were
right?
best friends.
Yeah.
There are a few people in his chat that are, like, they're obviously Minnesota people. Like, there's a few people that were fans from the radio show, I guess, that followed him to YouTube. They're always like, "It's cold up here" is their name, or just there's always Minnesota related names. But yes, the bulk of the audience is names that I regularly see on MLC,
Yeah.
on Tom Meyers, on this show, possibly my show sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's my point. Is don't be scolding Tom Meyers like, "Hey, you think you're even in my league, pal? You are in the same league."
I get a similar feeling when Chad starts doing a show about Ray DeVito. You guys are almost exactly in the same. Like, you're almost exactly the same people.
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of Tom, but I would even say Tom's a little ahead of Aaron because Tom has a paying gig for announcing for a baseball team. That's more than anything that Aaron has. So I give.
Aaron's talking to people. Don't you worry about Aaron. He's in conversation with people.
Oh, did you see that news on Friday?
Yes, that they were emailing with someone at the radio station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watching the show, and these people were like, it was the weirdest thing. He starts watching the show and then just starts commenting on the topics that you're talking about. And I'm like, is this guy this bad at comedy? Like, that's not making fun of a show. That's called being a listener of a radio show. Like, you're watching a show. If you think it sucks, you don't start commenting on the topics because now you're admitting that the person you're trying to make
that
fun
Aaron
of
also plays clips of The View and then comments on what they're saying about political topics. But whatever. I guess that's different.
is putting on engaging content. Tom, come on. What did you do? Take a bong hit transplant? So then somebody sent me the bong hit transplant joke, and it made me angry.
Why?
Because I tried to guess the shitty punchline of the like. I heard the terrible setup.
Hey, that's my
and
game.
his weird beady bug eyes. We compared them to Glenn in The Walking Dead when he gets hit with Lucille. Pretty accurate. I'm pretty proud of that one, actually. But we were.
Would you be annoyed if he called this 2 Minutes with Tom or whatever you?
I would.
The name is?
Utilized
Very
his
annoying.
shitty setup at some middle school talent show. And I
It was the Ed Schrader show, Dick.
Cardiff, get back.
Biggest possible punchline I could come up with for this joke, and he out-shittied it. It was incredible. I said, oh, my God, he's going to say, hey, the guy at the grocery store. It's stuck with me all day. It happens all the time. He had a bunch of snacks and Doritos and stuff on the counter, and he told the cashier, sorry, my girlfriend can only get snacks because she just had a medical procedure.
No,
And
my
I'm like,
girlfriend
if-
had an operation and she can only eat certain things. Get the line right, you asshole.
I've legitimately never heard the joke.
Really?
I don't want to either. I just know it's a huge deal.
Oh, it's
I know
great.
Carl's talked about it. Again, I just.
But here,
I
so
don't- I
Aaron's
don't
going to
wanna
say
hear it.
something here that really bugs me and simply isn't true about Tom Myers. Bits aside, he's going to say something here that just isn't true about Tom Myers, and it shows Aaron's ego here because this is a wild take, I think.
Oh, sorry.
He says a bong transplant. I'm going to fucking lose my mind.
Okay, so hold on.
And
Aaron's acting like that's he's like, oh, this hack is going to say he had a bong hit transplant.
I guarantee the video he was watching was titled "Bong Hit
Well,
Transplant."
that's the only. There is no. Say what you want about Tom Myers. There is no one on earth that would hear the setup to that joke and go, oh, what is this going to be? Another one of those bong hit transplant jokes? Bong hit transplant might be the most unique punchline in the history of comedy. There are.
I'll give you that.
There are maybe, I can only think of 4 or 5. Like, there are so few jokes in comedy that have titles. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, 7 dirty words, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Black people versus N-words, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Bong hit transplant is in that pantheon. Now, you can question how good it is or how many people have made it laugh. The amount of people that have quoted bong hit transplant, it's far from a hack joke. So I don't care for Aaron's implication.
There's a fine line. What's the old expression? There's a fine line between genius and retardation.
Yes. Yeah, that is the old adage.
Yep.
And he goes, what'd she have? A bong hit transplant? I'm so glad I don't have a gun.
Oh, Aaron.
Why is that?
I think because he'd shoot himself.
No.
Not
Not on his oldest daughter's birthday.
What a terrible day to do that.
That's one of those I love you gifts.
Can you imagine her birthday be ruined forever?
You remember Daddy.
Daddy saw Tom Myers and then he killed himself.
Dial 988 if you're having problems, people. Next one up is called Times Are Good.
Okay, well, so this is interesting. Now we're getting into the meat here because really what we're covering today is a goal. And things are flowing on Steel Toe. I got to give it to him. He's had almost 6 perfect weeks. So things are really cruising. And I think we're getting pretty close to being in the black here, which is good news for the toe.
Dysrhythmia says, no, Aaron, that's okay. Keep the monetization. You need the money. But we don't. We've been banging out goals for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I just did corporate taxes. Tiniest little bit of profit. Steel Toe's back in the black, baby.
Yes.
We can skip a day
We
of
did it, guys.
monetization, but that's very kind of you. I mean, to care about our well-being.
I got to ask
here.
you another question, Mike.
Please.
Okay, tiniest bit of profit, he said.
Mhm.
Do you know how profit is calculated? I don't know if you're a businessman.
I know a little.
Any-
I know
okay.
a little. I follow the stock market.
What are his expenses for this show that he's deducting from the income to find his profit? Like, what is his profit?
What's his overhead?
His overhead, yes.
Sometimes he pays
Weird Al
for
tickets. Is that
Weird Al tickets? That might be a write-off. Yes,
Okay.
because he's going to talk about the experience,
Mhm.
so he might be able to write those off. Twister, he has to buy games of Twister to send to fans.
Okay.
Just for
don't-
men, paying
buy
off
new-
thruples.
Does he buy a new microphone every episode, like a fresh SM7B every time? He
Not
fires up?
every episode.
Oh,
He
okay.
may have here and there. But to answer your question, I'm having trouble thinking, and I don't listen to every episode. Like, I listened
that's
to
fine.
Thursday's show to get these clips. Other than that, I haven't listened in 2 weeks, Darren. So I don't listen to every show. So maybe sometimes when I'm not listening, he talks about what they're spending all this revenue on. But to answer your question, I don't really know where all the money is going.
Interesting.
Doing some sort of Brewster's Millionaire sort of thing.
It does seem like it's all profit. To answer your
Yeah,
question.
like I don't know where the expenses come into this program.
But could you go back just a little bit? Because Aaron is dunking on this guy's like, hey, keep the money. You need it. You need the money more than I do. And Aaron's telling this joker, not so fast, my friend. Steel Toe is ripe with cash. Times are good.
Just did corporate taxes, tiniest little bit of profit. Steel Toe's back in the black, baby. We can skip a day of monetization, but that's very kind of you. I mean, to care about our well-being here at Steel Toe really means a lot.
Nice.
Let's go ahead.
That's good. That's good to know. Things are going, so we don't even really have to worry about the goal today.
You could skip a day.
You can skip it.
He won't.
Well, it's interesting. It's funny you say that, Cardiff. Remember that cockiness.
Oh.
Keep in mind that, like, who gives a fuck, brother? Yeah, make fun of me all you want, but we're in the black. Times are good. Corporate taxes, which incorporate last year's profits,
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, the last 6 weeks have made it so that we were profitable last year. I'm not a businessman. I don't really know how that works, but good for Aaron.
Mhm.
What you're about to watch is the strangest descent into madness I've ever witnessed. There were times during this is pretty rare, where I was finding these clips and actually laughing out loud. So, Aaron, you can spin that into entertaining me if you'd like, because you did. I got a good chuckle out of some of these. Remember the cockiness, and then let's dip our toe into what happens when maybe they start falling behind a little bit.
Rated R Superstar with $1 says, so since monetizing doesn't matter, no more goals. No. Because of your generosity, we don't need to be monetized today. We can just go with, we'll just knock out today's goal. We'll call it another win for the toe.
Yeah.
All right, there.
We don't need to be monetized. Just give me money. Those are not synonyms at all. Those are very different things. We can go months without being monetized as long as you guys continue to give us money. So there's no
so
problem
money
there.
and monetize are not
They're totally different.
totally
Like,
different things.
making money, that's one thing. He doesn't need to be monetized as long as he's making money.
Next one's called Getting Worried.
Okay,
Wait,
well, this
hold
is-
on. Wait, I think you're misinterpreting here a little bit. I think they go hand in hand.
No, I'm telling you, as long as he's making money, throw the monetization out the window. In fact, I say make sure the channel is demonetized. Because who needs that? As long as money is coming in from the people watching the show, who needs monetization?
I guess I see your point.
But now we're about to enter a whole different world. So what Aaron was just talking about, that was, 40 minutes into the show, where he's like, money? I'll set my money on fire. I don't give a fuck about your money. This is an entirely different world that exists 20 minutes later.
Real. 290 away from this morning. Hey, we're 9 minutes away from making $4 in the first hour of today's show. Boy, I tell you, when you guys start out ahead, you really do slam on the brakes, don't you?
I got to tell you, though, considering money is worthless, like money doesn't matter here, $4 is actually a lot. Because if what you need is 0, there's not even a multiplication that you could do to get to $4. It's infinitely more than 0.
Let me check. 0 times 4. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that doesn't work. The math checks out.
It's infinitely more than $0. So Aaron has gone way beyond his wildest dreams with $4. He was just bragging about how 0 is the goal. He doesn't need monetization.
Jucking and jiving, I'm dancing. The evening show audience even said here, kick in an extra 10 for the morning people.
Yeah, give these poor
I mean, they had
a
it
break.
knocked out again in the first hour. So
this is an interesting thing that he does.
Yes.
Similar to Carl now with his Wednesday and Saturday audience beef.
Yeah. Where did he get that?
Yes. The morning and evening audiences fighting with each other is fun.
So Aaron has done an interesting thing too, where I think he's kind of tried to make it sound like now it's tongue in cheek, as he often does, like he did with the Beggy Monster with us, where he's like, that evening crew, those dirty. But then every once in a while he slips in. We'll hear it at some point where he slips in something that really is. He's like, God, why is the evening show so much better? Like he believes it's a wholly different group of people. Like for some reason, in the people that watch in the evenings, that's where the cash is. Those people get off a long day of work. They come home. They want to relax with a little steel toe. In the mornings, it's these poverty-stricken ghouls that don't have any money. Totally different group.
Yeah.
6 weeks of perfection if we get to 0 today. 6 weeks of perfection. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's get this thing moving.
Yeah.
200 by 8 o'clock. Let's not make the after 8 o'clock thing, the Aaron Telethon hour.
Enough
Let's
of that.
Get this thing going. It's going to be good. We're the best there is. Throw in a couple of bucks, and let's do this thing. How about you give Aaron $290 to do this Tom guy the rest of the show? If someone threw me $300 right now and said, just watch Tom Meyers, that would be fine. I'm a whore.
This is moments after he was like, I just can't do it. I can't watch this Tom Meyers. Oh, you'll give me money to do it? Yeah, that's fine. He's like, it was so bad it would take down the quality of my show. Oh, unless there's money attached, then I'll spend 3 hours on it if you want me to.
$300. I ain't doing it for. I mean, you're watching. Is Tom Meyers really bringing in the money right now? Tom Meyers ain't bringing in the dough.
He has this equivalency where he's like, he's blaming. So he was playing clips of Tom Meyers and being like, this isn't very funny. And then he blames Tom because what's supposed to happen is if it's a good topic, the audience goes, well, here's $20. Here's $50. Here's $100. But then when they don't do that, he's like, oh, that piece of shit Tom Meyers. He didn't bring in any money. So I shouldn't talk about that topic anymore.
It's analytics. It's
yes.
Steel Toe Industries analytics.
Yes.
It's Moneyball. Money Toe.
Sabermetrics.
Like this was called falling behind.
Okay, well, this is where now we were all having fun and bragging and money didn't matter, but that was a different world we were in 30, 40 minutes ago on Steel Toe. Times have changed. Things are starting to shift a little bit.
Guys, we got 8 minutes until 8 o'clock. We're at 2:35. What do you think?
Huh?
Have we done enough to keep us on track for 6 perfect weeks? Could you throw in a few? Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Rumble Rants? 6 weeks on the line.
Oh.
He says that like there's some significance to that number. Like people would go, I wasn't going to give, but this is the 6-week mark. Like this is what really matters. Like you're coming up on a historic win streak and people are like, all right, enough. It's an undefeated season in the NFL, you know?
He does perplex me with this. He really like. Have you ever worked in sales, Mike?
I've not. I'm a lot of my friends have.
Good. How are they doing?
Fairly well.
Yeah. Just give me some names.
No.
Oh, okay. But there's a thing in sales, like some salespeople will go out and sell what's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like this, you got to buy this because this is the greatest that I think. What Aaron needs to do is find out what the customer wants. He's never once asked, what does the customer want? Like, again, the goal should be something that the customer's goal. What's the customer's goal here? Not his goal. Right?
That's a great, yes. What is the customer's goal? Which I would submit that the customer's goal is to make this guy squirm for the entire show because it's funny.
So mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At 290 today. Feel like I've been shucking and jiving for you pretty well.
Remember this guy at the beginning of the show that was like, hey, motherfuckers, the evening show made it easy for us. We're going to breeze through. We're ahead. We're $40 ahead. 290 is nothing. I shit on monetization. I turned it off for this episode.
He's now Googling Weird Al return policy.
These cupcakes were pretty expensive.
You think you could maybe? Just asking 200 by 8 o'clock. That's it. We're at 235 now. Sorry, I'm just getting a really bad case of Groundhog's Day. That's all.
Oh, I wonder why that is, Aaron. Could it be because this is every day? You are living Groundhog's Day. Every day of your show is exactly this.
Twice a day.
I thought it was 6 weeks of
Twice
success.
Well, this is what success looks like, Aaron. It can sometimes come in ugly forms. You don't want to always see how the sausage is made.
Mike, there's been a momentum shift.
Oh God, I worry. I worry. Earlier, no, it's not good, Cardiff. It's not going the direction you think. We were cruising this morning. The evening show was dunking on fools and leaving tips and saying, guys, in the morning, don't worry, sleep in. Don't worry about it. We got you covered.
Mm-hmm.
But now things have shaped. There's been such a seismic changing of the tides that I'm starting to worry a little bit. I'm taking my skimboard and I'm headed for the beach house because things are getting nasty out here.
Of all three, right there on the river. All right, guys, we're officially behind for today. Don't worry, I'm used to it. I just hope you guys will knock it out today. 235 away from today's goal.
This guy was shitting on my monetization. No thanks. And now he's like, oh, guys, we're a little behind. I don't know why you do this to me.
PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We're having a good... It's kind of like every day. I know we're having a good time. I know it's a great show today. I know it's been a lot of fun.
At least you don't doubt yourself.
Let's just all throw in and take care of this annoying thing. 235 away from today. All of you throw in a little bit. Don't wait for somebody else. Don't wait for some big drops. They don't always come.
I love that one. That's always his phrase. He goes, don't wait for somebody else, Cardiff. So let's say you're sitting at home, Cardiff.
Yeah, I am. That's correct.
And you're like, well, none of the other cool kids. Like, you obviously model yourself after Tukey. You say, is he donating to this? I don't see him doing it. I don't see the cool kids like Carl and Patrick Melton and all these fun people. They're not donating. And what Aaron's saying is, you be the change. Like you get out on your own and start a rally. Don't wait for others to do it. And I think that's inspiring in a lot of ways because people are timid. People are like, I don't want to be seen donating. Maybe people will call me a loser. And Aaron's saying, uninhibit yourself. Don't live by those restrictions.
Or maybe give the people an anonymous way to send you money that you have no way of proving they actually sent you that money.
Well, you're in luck, Aaron. Oh. You could go to PayPal or Venmo as well.
Oh, good.
Don't feel restricted by these social media sites.
Good.
It's 6 weeks. Today is what's standing between us and 6 weeks of perfection. So I'd really appreciate it.
He's saying 6 weeks the one sports loss in my life that like really affected me, that I remember like being sad about, was David Tyree, the Patriots Super Bowl, losing that undefeated season.
Yes.
Aaron is basically saying, you guys are David Tyreeing me, where you're like, I didn't even give a fuck about monetization an hour ago. And now people have just completely twisted my world up. How is this going to happen? Eli Manning's going to get into the Hall of Fame because you motherfuckers won't donate? It doesn't make any sense. You can't wrap your head around it. It's gut-wrenching.
If you love the program, consider becoming a member or just clicking one of the links that's in the chat right now and throwing in a few bucks. $2.35 is
His mood is so changed.
Get us back on track.
I'm curious, in his goal calculations again, is that Stoney's logo in the corner, how much are they paying each show for that?
People have speculated various things. Some people think
zero.
Yeah, some people think at this point that they're not paying anything, and he just wants to look like he has advertisers.
Yes.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know why he always has gift cards to give away. I don't know if anyone actually ever receives those gift cards. I simply don't know the answer to that, unfortunately.
I'm just gonna start throwing a Nike logo in the corner of all my shows.
He should, though, if they are paying something, because he has Stoney's, he has Midland Armory. I think there's a towing company or something.
I think Jesse Ventura is a sponsor.
Charge them, what would it be, $125 each? There's your goal. Bing, bang, boom. We're done.
A lot less stressful.
You know? Yeah.
All right, Mike, now we're up to This Sucks.
Well, there must be more context to this that I cut out, because it sounds like Aaron moments ago was literally singing. He was singing Eric Church songs. He was showing us his Vikings sweatpants. He was talking about what a great day it's going to be for his daughter. They're going to have cupcakes and go see Weird Al. And based on the title of this clip, it seems like maybe things have changed a little, and that would be very unfortunate.
All right, guys, 2:30 away from today, an hour and a half left in a Thursday show where we're quite literally one fucking goal away from having our sixth perfect week. Unfortunately, every morning show has been like this week. That really, really, really sucks.
But you said it was perfect. You referred to this as a perfect, one of 6 perfect weeks. And he's like, this entire week has sucked now.
Could this be the goal?
You mean getting to this point?
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you think that's what he means? Like, hey, guys, the goal for the show today is to make me a panicked mess by the end so that I humiliate myself.
Yeah, like we were watching on Tukey Soup over at the Bedabbler channel on YouTube. At Bedabbler on YouTube. Go there now. TukeySoup.com. We were watching some degenerate gambler.
Yes.
And his emotional response to winning and losing were almost identical.
Oh, really?
Right? Like
well,
we've
said, you know what? It might have been Casey Day that made this point, that he's addicted to the feeling.
It's the feeling, yes.
Yes.
I think we're onto something.
That is a great point, that he is addicted to whatever that is. He doesn't even really give a fuck about making the goal.
No.
He wants to feel like this. Every day he gambles, quite literally, his salary on whether or not we make the goal, whether or not a clip of Whoopi Goldberg or Elon Musk helps him get to $350.
Two for the Money by Al Pacino. You ever see that, Cardiff? He goes,
No.
I never felt more alive than when they're taking the chips from my cold dead hands. So, yeah. That's it.
That is, I wonder in a way if Aaron will have that moment where he's like, I just love missing the goal.
I do have to ask, was that your Al Pacino?
I just have one.
Yeah,
question.
that's what, you didn't. I think that was
Sort
a
of
clip.
Stuttering
That was a
John.
clip of Pacino.
Yeah. I didn't want to yell. It's too early to yell.
Made $55 today. I wish there wasn't such a contrast between the two groups. I really do. I really wish there wasn't.
So he's not fucking
also
around, right? He thinks the morning show, that's what he's talking about there when he says there's a contrast.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying the evening show is a dominant force and the morning show is really slacking. They're dragging everyone else down. I would say do all your shows at night, Aaron. Just do 8 hours at night.
Oh, so you think it's a clock issue?
Yeah. It seems to be, right?
It's a lighting. I have windows here. It's a lighting thing.
When the sun goes down, the money starts flowing.
Weird.
Also makes us look bad. I'll be straight with you. This keeps people away from Steel Toe. This keeps people away from growing the show. Let's go in. Let's knock this out.
Hold on. It stops people from watching the show. It hinders them from growing this platform.
The barrier.
Stop doing it. What are you, nuts? You're saying Aaron knows, like consciously, actively knows he would have a bigger, which by the way, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people are watching for this. But Aaron believes that if he eliminated the gold, the audience would grow. I would say, Aaron, see what that's like. Like, it would be interesting to me if Aaron, because he's always like, oh, this is the gross part. Try and think of this, Aaron, if you watch, based on your comments on the Beggy Monster. I'm sure you've never watched this before, but if someone shows this to you, one of your sources sends you this clip, hear what I'm saying here. Aaron started this show and said, fuck monetization. Who cares? We don't need money. We're in the black, baby. We're profitable because we've been perfect for 6 weeks. So that was on last year's taxes, which I still don't quite understand. But we're good. Times are good for Steel Toe. On a day like that, where the evening show says, hey, here's an extra 40, baby. Remember who loves you. When the evening show is that kind to you. In the morning, take that opportunity to be like, I'm not going to mention the goal today. Don't do this thing where it's like, hey, we're barely mentioning the goal. Literally don't mention it for a day. Don't talk about falling behind. Don't talk about how much you're worried about having to talk about it. Don't talk about how, it makes me feel really gross when I have to talk about the goal. Don't talk about it at all, because mentioning how bad it is still talking about it.
See, you're turning you blind Mike. I hate to say, I liked you. I respected you until now.
Oh no.
But you're starting to sound like Chad Zumach.
Oh really? How so?
Well, it's like why doesn't Carl ever talk about the things that Anthony did? Why doesn't he talk about the good things that I do? Why are you trying to program the man's show?
Because he's saying, oh man, it's so gross when I talk about the goal. You think he knows that? It's all part of the plan?
But this man has hit the goal 6 weeks in a row.
You
blind Mike.
That's true.
Are like walking up to Aaron Judge and saying, Aaron,
let me tell you
how
about
you really hit dingers.
Yeah, you know what? All right, I'm sorry. You're right. That was an ego trip, and I'm glad you're here. If it was just me and Casey Day, he would let me go on these rants. He doesn't reel me in like you. I appreciate that. That's a good point, Cardiff. All right. I haven't hit a goal since August. So
there you go.
So to be fair, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's an interesting point.
Let's not bring it up anymore. Let's get it hammered out. Let's call it a win for the toe. And let's walk away from this one with 6 perfect weeks. I would appreciate it, guys. I really would. I'm not just blowing smoke. I really appreciate it is the word. I appreciate it.
We did it together.
But we're 2:30 away. I come into every show very confident. I'm like, you know what? We're going to do it right today. It's going to go the way we want. And we've been keeping this thing moving, and we've been knocking
every day is the same.
Knocking out the stories, knocking out the topics.
Every day is this. Pause, please. Every day is them like begging for the last 5 minutes to get the goal. And yet somehow every day Aaron wakes up and says, there's no chance I have to beg for the goal today. There's no
Today's
chance.
The day.
Today's the day. Every day Aaron does this. Today, I'm going to log in to StreamYard, and I'm going to see that there's already a $350 super chat. And then I can just go on with my life. This is going to be the first day.
You guys, and there hasn't been a lot of goal mentioning until we fell behind. There really almost none.
Well,
so if you could throw a few bucks our way, I know I say it 5,000 times a show after 8 o'clock, but I mean, really, the more that comes in, the less it gets mentioned. So I'd really appreciate it. Let's go into some of these stories. And
this is a guy constantly on drugs telling you he's going to get sober. No, this is the last time. Like, I'm not I'm not touching this stuff again. It's terrible for me. I just need this one last time to kind of mellow out a little bit. But that's it. It's gross for me. And then a week later, you're having the same conversation with them.
After this topic, we're doing a little better because I really want that 6 weeks in a row. It's important to me. It means a lot. And I would appreciate it if we spread the love a little more. I love seeing these names up here, but I like seeing new names up there as well. Crunchy at 365, Gray Duckling at 153, Flinty at 100, and Miss Tay with 75. That's a who's who of the all-star roster of Sports, but we need everybody.
That was my favorite. That's when I started laughing when I found these clips.
Who's who?
Oh my God. Is that Flinty Gecko? Flinty Gecko over here. Over here.
You know, I don't like
Gecko and Gray Duckling. All the stars are out tonight.
I would rather appear on a sex offenders list than the Steel Toe Top Toe Nations list.
I like the goal red carpet where it's like, Gray Duckling, how do you do it every week? Do you think like, hey, I'm going to give $20 at a time. I'm going to give one lump sum. Like, what goes into your goal contributions? And also this idea that Aaron is like, listen, I know these are big names to compete with. Like, you guys might be thinking like, I don't have it in me to be one of the Flinty Geckos of the world. But really, like $20 even helps. You don't have to be on this leaderboard. You can be a role player, you know? Like whether you're LeBron James or the last guy on the bench, you get a ring.
Bronny James. That would be Bronny James.
I don't know if
That's
anyone's
right. Yeah.
if anyone's ever made the comparisons or if anyone even remembers these things. But remember the PBS telethons?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they would be. You'd be watching a movie. You'd be so enthralled.
Yeah.
And they would stop the show to show you their tote bag.
By listeners like you.
By listeners like you.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, last week we didn't have any 300s. In fact, until you guys went on your crazy Miss Tay versus Gray Duckling rally and pooled in, we didn't have anybody over 200 last week. I was really proud of that. That's really
Does that not
awesome.
sound like a manifesto of some kind? Like, it wasn't until we went on the Miss Tay versus Gray Duckling rally that a light was really sparked. You people, that's when you guys started participating in the show, in the famous Miss Tay versus Gray Duckling battle in March of 2025.
There'll be books written about this.
Yeah, a championship documentary. Once we hit 6 weeks of perfection in the goal, the documentary is going to show. That's going to be a big feature. Is Gray Duckling giving $10, then Miss Tay giving 15, then Gray Duckling coming back with 20.
But we need to spread the love a little bit so that we can knock this out. And did you hear how pathetic that whole last 2 minutes was? I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead. Let's do our next story.
That's what Aaron does, and I'm going to try to take Cardiff's advice. Don't tell the master how to do his job.
Yes.
But that is what Aaron does, where he's like, and I know that was so gross, man. I didn't want to have to do that. And then tomorrow he'll go and do the exact same thing. So it's not really like, I would give him credit for being like, okay, he's sort of aware of it if he did it once, but he does that every day. This thing of like, oh, I know it's so lame, man, but I hate to even ask, but could you guys give us some money? And then he'll do it an hour later.
And hopefully let's get this fucking thing knocked out, man. We're so close. Just chip in, just help out.
Yeah, just throw a few dollars. No big deal.
Mike, hope lives.
Oh, thank God. I was starting to get a little hopeless, quite frankly.
Hope.
But Aaron, after that speech about Gray Duckling and Flinty Gecko and Miss Tay and all the other leaders, the historic leaders, that's when people started looking at each other and say, you know what? This is up to us. We need to carry this man. Let's lift his spirits.
I mean, look, I'm a fucking beggy bitch. If you want to throw us money and call me a homosexual, fucking go for it. You know how important getting that number
do
to
half those
zero
things?
is? Do you know how
What a proud father.
Wow.
depressing it is to have that number at fucking 2:30 at 8:45? Fucking bums me out. So if I got to be called a Mo, then I got to be called a Mo. Oh my, Flinty Gecko, right. I was going to say coming right up Gray Duckling's ass, but I figured that would be a little on the nose. 50
Oh, yeah, well,
bucks for
it
Flinty
didn't
Gecko.
stop you from saying it anyways, huh? I was going to say it. Luckily, I didn't.
It's good strategy.
So it is one of the 4. I appreciate it. Thank you. But let's spread that love around a bit. Thank you, guys. We
One of the
cannot.
4 horsemen.
Are afraid.
We cannot.
Oh, that
live.
Cardiff, I don't know. I know you don't pay too close attention.
Scary.
That, I believe, is one of the drops. If you pay a certain amount of money, you get to hear a sound drop.
Really?
So,
But wait, there's more. He's not selling the goal enough, obviously.
oh, yes.
Promoting the perks.
He's like Bill Devane. What you just heard was
Be
one of,
buying.
yeah, what you just heard was one of his gold baseballs.
On those 4 people, and they deserve a break. They deserve a break, don't they? 180 away from today's goal. All right, so you're back in there. We asked to be at 100 by 9 o'clock. We're $80 away from that. Just keep dropping them in.
That's tremendously far. That's almost double.
Oh, you got $4 in 3 hours? It wasn't.
No, it was $4. Don't do that. It was $4 in the first hour.
Oh.
And then in the next hour, he got 90 or 100, maybe 110. I forget exactly where they started.
We can get there. So now we can be on track to be on pace again, because if we get 180 down to 0, it's 6 weeks of perfection, and you
That's
have
nothing.
no idea how fucking anal I am about that.
We're on track to
so-
be on pace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, go back. I forgot that was a great quote. We're on track to be on pace for this thing.
Yeah.
And the math that he does where he's like, okay, well, now we're at 180. Who gives a shit about 180? That's basically nothing. You guys were probably going to give that anyways. It was 205 that was a lot of money for some reason.
On pace again, because if we get 180 down to 0, it's 6 weeks of perfection, and you have no idea how fucking anal I am about that.
Sorry, can you go
Sam
back a little more? We
Shosedic, that
cut
whole
off
last
the-
2
I
minutes
wanted to
was.
hear the-
I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead. Let's do our next story. And hopefully let's get this fucking thing knocked out, man. We're so
I guess.
close. Just chip in. Just help
No, I rewinded a little too far. So
Yeah, duh.
it's coming up.
out.
Here it is.
I mean, look, I'm a fucking beggy bitch. If you want to throw us money and call me a homosexual, fucking go for it. You know how important getting that number to 0 is? Do you know how depressing it is to have that number at fucking 2:30 at 8:45? Fucking bums me out.
So much math.
So if I got to be called a mo, then I got to be called a mo. Oh, my Flinty Gecko, right. I was going to say coming right up Gray Duckling's ass.
Boy,
but I
we really
figured that
took
would be
a
little on the
trip
nose.
back.
$50 from Flinty Gecko. So it is one of the 4. I appreciate it. Thank you. But let's spread that love around a bit. Thank you, guys. We
Oh, real
cannot-
quick.
They are.
What's that?
How come when I say can we go back a little bit, we have to hear the previous 40 minutes that led
It's
up
a
to this?
First time I've ever done that. I was just scared. I didn't see the number when you said go back. So
What's
I was
this
like, I
guy
don't
in the
wanna
glasses thing? What is this? Can someone
We've
explain
already
this to
talked
me?
about it. We've already talked about it.
Are
You forget, Cardiff, because that was so
Afraid.
long ago.
We cannot live on those 4 people, and they deserve a break.
Yeah, give him a
They
break.
deserve a break, don't they? 180 away from today's goal. All right, so you're back in there. We asked for you at 100 by 9 o'clock. We're $80 away from that. Just keep dropping them in. We can get there. So now we can be on track to be on pace again.
Oh.
Because if we get 180
It was
down
hardly
to
worth
0
it with the journey
it's 6
there, but
weeks
it
of
is
perfection.
Thank
It is a
God it
great
was still
line.
ridiculous when we heard it.
You want to hear it again? I can rewind one more time.
I'm glad we didn't mishear it. Yeah, that would have been put an egg on our face.
I thought it would
But-
be a simple. We go back 5 seconds and hear it again. But
But wait. So he's saying he wanted to be at 100 by 9. Is that a goal within the goal?
oh, there are many goals. within the
sub
goal.
goal?
Yes, you don't
Oh,
even
Cardiff!
know.
I don't know.
You're really bringing us back. You're holding us back decades here. You know.
Well, there's new people coming into this. We need to explain it because this is new to me. I'm
You're
learning.
trying to reinstitute Jim Crow laws here. You're
learning.
setting us back decades. If I have to explain this, don't you know that every hour you try to knock off $100? So by 7 o'clock, you want to be under 300. By 8 o'clock, you want to be under 200. By 9 o'clock, you want to be under 100. And of course, by 10, you want to make sure you've hit the goal. And that's what allows us to do bonus time. But you get it.
It's making sense now. Thank you.
Because the only way you can hit the goal is if you hit those milestones each hour. They're correlated. The goal is set up in a way that makes it...
No. That's not what I've seen.
Oh, no?
No, I've never seen them hitting quarterly goals. It's always...
It's set up. Why do you think it's more than $300? Because there's 4 hours of the show. So each hour, you have to get to 100 mark.
Got it. Now, no, thank you.
Good. Okay.
I don't mean to complicate it further, Cardiff, but
you will.
Even when you don't hit the goal, you can still hit the goal. But we're not even going to talk about that.
That's true. Well, in a way we will, because, because we will get there. Cardiff will see the full scope of what happens in the final moments of the goal.
And you have no idea how fucking anal I am about that.
Well, we have
Sam Show says, Miss Tay hates your daughter. She does not.
Why read
somebody writes, holy shit,
Why
30.
Why read that? Who's that for?
Well, that's to get Miss Tay up a little higher than $75, I think.
I
think that's the incentive.
They didn't pay any money. It's just, there's no reason for it. Miss Tay hates your daughter. And then his brilliant, at least he had a great response. He's like, nah.
Almost 9.
There's no better way to appeal to a woman to give you money than to imply that she hates children.
Right. Now she has to go, hey, here's $20. I don't hate your daughter, obviously.
Damn. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not worried about it at all now. It's kind of like when someone, like when you like get a cut, like you fall off a bike or something when you're a kid and you cut your leg open and it's obviously a really bad wound and everyone's like, it's not that bad. We'll be okay. We'll get you to the doctor. And someone comes by and goes, holy shit, that looks really bad. And you're like, thanks. Appreciate it. That's really nice. No, really, that was helpful. You have no idea.
Aaron being $80 short of where he wants to be. It's as if your young child, fell off the bike and for some reason has a gaping wound because of it. To the point where a stranger walks by and says, oh my God, get them to the hospital. That's exactly like being at $180 at 9 o'clock. That's what that's like.
No, that's accurate.
Yeah.
How helpful that was. 180 away from today's goal. See, now March 14 says, yeah, too much begging and whining for me. That's what I'm talking about. I have no control over how much of that there is. That's up to them.
No control. This man is being controlled with knobs and buttons. It's all on us.
Jasper says, when's the last time we heard an appreciation? Every time I say thank you, holy shit, you guys are so incredibly generous. You've kept this show on the air for so long, and you continue to do so. I appreciate it. I don't think.
And then tomorrow I'll be back to ask for more. That's how much I appreciate it.
Thank God for weekends for these people, huh?
Yes. Well, and of course, Rumble Friday, where hitting the goal is optional, I think.
Fuck your guys' dick any more than I do. Plus, you should hear how much appreciation the evening show crowd gets every night. We never do this. It's 2 different shows, really.
That's fucking insane.
Is he fucking with us when he does that?
It has to be.
I see a new game coming for you.
What's that?
You play a clip of an Aaron show, and they have to guess is this morning or evening show because they're so different.
Yes. Who are these donors?
That's a great game.
That's not bad.
Did we do this?
Oh, so this is a case of you tell me because you've been around for most of these. It feels actually like not that he's quoting me. I think he's quoting Casey Day here.
Oh no!
Tell me if I'm crazy, but I thought it was Casey like writing a script for him. This is how Casey talks about the goal, but I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it.
We're getting dumber. Thank you very much, Wildcard, for the $5. Appreciate that, buddy. wild card for 5, making it 175 away. See, if those just roll in one after the other, we'll be done in 5 minutes. Thank you very much. 175 away from today's goal. Thank you so much for that. Every little bit to the goal helps. The goal is God. The goal is king. Thank you, goal.
Like, I've never heard him do that before.
No,
But that's you.
new. Yeah.
I think that's how you
It's us,
titled.
yes.
That's how you titled our goal show. I think.
Yes. You make it an entity and worship it. Yes, and he is now doing that.
Maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but when I heard that, I was like, "Oh shit! Is he watching our show and now quoting Casey?"
That'd be awesome if he had a deity he worshipped every day. He brought on as a little goal idol and prayed down to it. Stuff like
The
that.
goal
would
is
be
God.
fun.
The goal is good. Thank you, goal.
Yes. Do the right thing is next.
Oh, this is important. Cardiff, do you try to live by the golden rule? You know, do to your fellow man as you would like done to you?
Generally, no.
Oh,
It's
well.
a terrible rule.
Well, apparently you're the perfect steel toe viewer because none of
Good.
these rat bastards do that either.
170 away from today's goal. About 45 minutes till I really gotta get gross. I hope we knock it out, guys. I really do. 6 weeks perfect, being 1 day away. Like I said, when it was Monday and we missed by 100, I'm like, shit, streak's got to end sometime.
Now,
What
hold
are you
on.
going to do?
Yeah, wait, 6
Monday he
weeks.
missed by 100.
Mondays don't count.
What am I missing here?
I don't know. Cardiff, where'd you go?
When it was-
Cardiff, he dropped off for a second. Cardiff, he'll
Oh.
be back.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Cardiff. We love having you. But Monday he missed by 100. Isn't that part of the perfect week? Maybe he means by 9 o'clock he was down 100 or something.
I think that's what he means. I think that he is talking sequentially that we've been good, but we were close last Monday. So I think it still counts as a win for the toe.
We need goal judges. Like, you know how I'm trying to think who's the guy on the Fox broadcast. You know how like Fox and CBS have the old refs that they go to for certain
Yes.
calls.
Yes.
I'm forgetting who they are now. But they'll go to fucking Mike Pereira or something and be like,
Oh, that's one of them. Yeah.
be like, what do you think on this one? We need a guy like that we can call in and be like, hey, what does this mean? Monday, did they miss the goal? Because I only watch one show a week to pull clips, if that. So I don't know. I can't go back and be. I mean, I guess I could have done it, but I didn't care to. To go back to Monday's show, we need sort of a rules analyst to be like, well, here's what he means. Because otherwise, what are we doing here with 6 weeks of the goal?
That's just going to take money out of the pot from the goal. How are we going to pay for this analyst, Mike? I don't think we've thought that's far enough ahead.
Is Cardiff just gone forever?
He dropped off. He was having a little trouble beforehand. His head was
no.
moving around quite a bit.
Well, go subscribe to Cardiff's Patreon. We love Cardiff here. He was very funny today, so go support Cardiff Electric.
Yep, and Electra's going to put all his links in the chat, so make sure you get all
Good.
those and check all those out, especially his new YouTube. And if he comes back in, come back, Cardiff. We'll throw you back up.
He's welcome to. But we're almost done with Steel Toe, which was probably going to be his departure anyways. So
Well, almost is stretching it, but we got
that's true.
But on the last day, that would be a tough pill to swallow. Maybe we will lose. I mean, it happens. It's got to happen at some point. It
Sure,
just
you
fucking
can't fly
sucks,
that
and I
high
am gonna
forever.
plead with
no. Even a bird needs a break.
you. Throw in a few bucks if you can. $5-10. It all helps. If you don't usually throw in and you're listening all the time, boy, we sure would appreciate the support. I think it's the right thing to do to support what we're doing.
I think it's the right thing to do.
Morally, yes.
Like, hey, asshole. Stop doing the wrong thing and not giving money to me. The right thing to do would imply that, like, it's not just that it would better the world to donate. Like, it's just. It's what the world needs to keep going. It's the right thing to do. Like, the right thing to do would mean Aaron has given you so much that it's only right to pay him back the amount he is due. To look at your audience that way is so wildly disrespectful. It's the right thing to do.
Doing here, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, those are my favorites. Rumble rants, super
favorites.
chats, please and thank you.
By the way, did you know you can send Bitcoin through Cash App? Aaron, get on it. Why are you not accepting Bitcoin?
Is that right?
Yeah, you can buy Bitcoin on Cash App and then send it to someone.
I assume you
Just
probably
found
can on Venmo too, right?
Nope, just Cash App.
Well, yeah, Aaron, get on Cash App. You're missing out.
I would
I'm sure a lot of
appreciate it.
people would send him Bitcoin.
170 away. We can get.
Well, the top
Crunch
donor
time.
this week is Michael Saylor. Thank you, Michael. Put your name on the board.
Diamond Hand Sailor. Crunch Time is the next one.
Okay, well, this is serious business now. This is where it's butts to nuts. Line up and listen to your marching orders because it's time to hit the goal, baby. This is where the rubber hits the road.
I'm scrolling. I don't see it, my man. It's not in my history.
Oh no.
Odd. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes. We got to knock out $105. It's 6 weeks of perfection. It would mean the world to me if we could knock this thing out on the last day. So,
why is this so important? Like, why is this day so important? I would submit it's not really. I think the idea of 6 weeks is just another way. It's like when he does multiple anniversary shows. He thinks milestones. Like, people are like, oh, shit, well, I can't let him go. He's already done 5 weeks and 4 days. I can't let him go 3 days, I guess. That's the thing. A week in Steel Toe World is only 4 days. So this isn't that impressive.
But it's 8 shows. It's never ending.
That's true. It's a bunch of shows. And Monday they missed by 100, but they still hit the goal. So
that one didn't count.
It would fucking crush me to lose by fucking any amount of money on the last day of being 6 weeks of perfection. It would suck a giant fucking cock. Yeah. Rebecca, thank you for $1. Says this is the sickest fucking story. She should be taken out the same way she killed her dog. We can get more creative than that. Jeez. We can get worse. Zen Man with $5. Now it's an even hundo away. Come on.
All right. Now we're doing it.
Do it. 5 minutes away.
That energy really got low there for the dead dog. But oh my God, he brought it back for that $5.
There are homeless people that if you gave them $5 would literally say, hey, man, that's not really enough. I'm trying to get a sale. Like, there are homeless people that wouldn't be as grateful for $5 as Aaron. No.
They walk by it. I'm not going to bend over and pick that up.
$100 away from 6 weeks of perfection. Leah with $5.
Minus one.
Now we're 95 away. Double digits, guys. 5s and 10s. See, look, it does. 5s and 10s. It can be done.
Yeah. Hey, look what that does, guys. You probably didn't know this, but here's what 5s do. If we're 105 away from the goal and you give $5, guess how much we have left of that goal. That's what 5s do. And then if you give another 5 after that, we're only at 95. Would you look at that, guys? Now you're learning. Before this example of the goal, it's like Sesame Street. He's teaching kids math. You probably didn't know how far away we were and what 5s were capable of before.
And I'd like to welcome back Cardiff Electric.
Oh, he made it back.
Yeah, all those years of making fun of John's internet. Finally got my comeuppance.
You seem so foolish now, don't you?
But on that note, gotta go. No.
We're almost done here. If you have a couple more minutes,
good.
You did miss. I wanted to point this out. Well, you missed Cardiff.
Yeah, can you just rewind? Just start.
No, I will not.
I won't do that. But I will just let you know that Aaron said, "Come on, guys, just give it to the goal. It's the right thing to do." Like he told his audience, it was the right thing to do. Like they'd be taking the righteous path.
This is the point in the infomercial where they show the starving child in Africa.
Yes, exactly.
The flies
and
above it.
This child will be saved if you give to the goal. So we're now under 5 minutes away, and we just got under $100 left. So the goal is within spitting distance.
Oh, good.
With $5. Says if this were some other show, there would be no reference to Of Mice and Men nor a host that understood the reference. This is why I like this show. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that is
times,
really deep. That's a really deep literary reference. It's not like it's a book that we all had to read in high school. Mm-hmm. You never hear a Lenny from Of Mice and Men reference. It's one of those really, and like Cardiff, I don't mean to sound pompous, but it's kind of like this goal. It's like Aaron's making me an offer I can't refuse, you know? And that's for us cinephiles out there.
Could the goal be his great white whale?
These are very deep references.
I'm Captain Ahab.
Now, what is that? I don't know. I don't understand that.
Oh, no?
I'm not as intellectual.
Well, I don't know. I've never read any of that shit. I've just heard the references.
Right, yeah. Aaron called a retard Lenny from Of Mice and Men, and he's giving himself a pat on the back for these deep references.
But the audience isn't stupid.
Nice.
We're not stupid, but we are retarded. Zen Man says, what's the big deal? Man. She could get a lucrative announcer's deal like Michael Vick. Excuse me, but after he killed all those dogs, it's now Mike Vick. He's a little more mature. Thank you very much. $95 away. You guys got off to a hot start, firing right
Mike
out of the
be
gate.
more mature than Michael.
Well, it's more mature than Mikey. So no more. He won't accept Mikey Vick anymore.
I don't know how you guys can focus when he brings this energy for the goal. That energy for the story is so low, but this goal energy is so high.
It's a good topical Mike Vick joke, and it shows you what you'd be getting if we could just knock out this goal. Then we could get to real business of Mice and Men jokes and Mike Vick references.
Going 4 minutes away, $95. Let's do it. Drop it in. Everybody get in. We need everybody. We're not going to have a hero come in and save us at the end of this thing. We need everybody chipping in together.
Hero.
6 weeks of perfection.
Hands across America.
God, I fucking want it so bad. I hope I've done.
Okay, that might be for the outro.
Oh, I fucking want. Give me that goal. Give it to me now.
Yeah. You're going back. Good. Okay, good.
At the end of this thing, we need everybody chipping in together.
What's
6 weeks of perfection. God, I fucking want it so bad. I hope
Oh, come on. I can almost taste it. $95 away.
I'm not one to, make implications or read too deeply into situations.
Mm-hmm.
But as he's saying he wants it so bad, he does wipe his nose.
Well, when he's saying that through gritted teeth, he's used to having something splattered on his face, I think.
Oh, maybe.
I've done a good enough. I feel like today's show has been very good, just like all the shows we do. It's been very consistent.
Oh, good.
Very, very good. Reward us. Reward us with your cash. Reward us with your money.
He really is going at that nose, Cardiff. Why did you point that out? Now I can't look at anything else. It is it's nose
money.
Well,
Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. $95 away from
There's the nose again.
6 perfect weeks.
He's angry.
6 perfect weeks in a row.
Give it to me.
I want to knock it out so fucking bad, guys. This isn't begging anymore. Today is passion.
Yeah.
I want it. Papa Shop says, "Look at the rabbits." I don't want it. No, it's not look at the rabbits.
You
Tell
guys
me
wouldn't
about
get
the
that
rabbit.
reference. My stupid audience doesn't understand what that means. If I say pet the rabbits, George, these morons are all befuddled because they're not as brilliant as the Steel Toe audience.
Must be a Bugs Bunny reference.
Yes.
That's Lenny.
No, another Lenny.
I don't want to tend the rabbits, guys. I want to tend to a goal that gets hit. I want to tend to a hit goal. 3 minutes away, $95. Come on, man. Let's do it for the toe.
What does tending to a hit goal look like? Like, what does he have to do to tend to the goal after?
Well, there's upkeep, maintenance.
Maintenance?
He inspects, like, when you take your car in for an inspection, he kicks the tires a little bit, you check the oil, you make sure it's all up to code.
6 weeks of perfect. I'm leaning in all the way. I'm not going to be able to go, I didn't even really try for this one. I'm leaning in all the way on this one.
Good. You want to hang your
Vince
hat on
Griswold
this.
with $5 says you need a Mr. Perfect drop for these perfect weeks. If we get perfect, I like that. We're going to play Mr. Perfect's theme music. $90 away. Come on.
I can't
They're
just
saying,
Google
tell
that.
me about the rabbits. Nope, I'm not going to.
I try. I always get Val Venus's song. I mean, I can't do it without him.
Damn it. Aaron owns it now somehow.
Yeah.
But when it's nice because it's his daughter's birthday. They're obviously going to be celebrating. I don't know if you guys heard, but today they're going to have cupcakes. And then tomorrow they're going to have a bigger group. So they have cake prepared.
He's got cake.
And Aaron, when his daughter looks up at him and says, "Papa, did you give it your all today?" He can proudly look back at her and say, "Honey, Of course I did. Because it was your birthday, and my audience reads Of Mice and Men. So I had no choice but to give it 110%.
Tell you about the Rabbits. 2.5 minutes left to go. $90 away. Inside of 50, we add another 30 minutes onto the clock. God.
All right,
Yeah.
Cardiff, did you get that, Cardiff? That's some math that we.
You must know that. That's pretty basic.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But explain it for the new people,
Well, for the layman out there.
for the non-Mice and Men readers.
Yeah. Well, what happens is we're at 90. If you get inside of 50,
Mhm.
we add 30 minutes. So if 40 or more dollars come in, we get overtime. You see?
Oh, so again, another sub goal.
It's a credit.
Yes,
We're getting a credit that we have to pay back.
Oh no, it's layered
Oh.
with sub goals throughout.
Yeah.
Is there interest involved?
Possibly.
Sorry.
What is your credit score? We need individual credit scores.
That's how Aaron can avoid waiting till the last minute. If you don't hit your goal every hour, the goal goes up.
I think this is how 2008
It's not
happened.
gonna work. Yes.
Yes.
This is
Isn't this what Franny Mae and Freddie Mac were doing with mortgages?
He's selling
isn't
derivatives. Yes.
They're buying these subprime mortgages, and these people don't have any credit.
Yeah, I got it.
Damn it, man. I want to do this one. I
Why is he
really
so
need
excited
that
for it?
fucking 6 weeks of perfection. It would
Give it to
God,
me.
it would mean so much. Cannot tell you. 90 away. All the links are in the chat. Click them. Throw a couple of bucks in,
good.
man.
I was worried.
2
they'd be
minutes left
impossible
to go.
find.
Oh, we started at 105. We're not exactly setting the world on fire here. Come on, man. Let's go.
Wow, he's so out of breath. We started
was.
at 105, and now we've clawed our way to 90.
He gives a big sigh in the middle. of this.
Minutes
Listen
left to go. Oh, we started at 105. We're not exactly setting the world on fire here. Come on, man. Let's go. Show some love to the toe. 6 weeks of perfection. These morning shows are getting
Pain in the
difficult.
balance.
It's not like you can ignore the fact that these morning shows are not making it.
Never has so much
But
been
we
on
are.
the line.
But
Hold on. Go back. He's again. I like to think he's joking, and he hears people make fun of the morning show versus the evening show, but he drops in these little references where, like, I think he really believes, like, you greedy bastards that watch in the morning, you don't do what the evening show does. The evening show loves me, and you guys, for some reason, hate me.
on fire here. Come on, man. Let's go. Show some love to the toe. 6 weeks of perfection. These morning shows are getting difficult. It's not like you can ignore the fact that these morning shows are not making it. But we are, but at the very least, you are hitting most of them. It's just, it's taking a lot. Oh, come on, guys.
What news? I
Help
don't want
out
to
a little.
distract. I don't want to distract from the goal here because I think we're right on the cusp of something magical.
I wish you'd stop pausing it. I need to know.
What news happens between 10:30 a.m. when his morning show ends
Mhm.
and 6 p.m. that is so worth getting to? Like, it's just hitting me now that is there breaking news within that 8-hour window?
Oh, absolutely. See, what you don't understand, Mike,
Yeah.
when he's doing a morning show, what he's talking about is literally yesterday's news.
True.
But when he's doing an evening, which he also probably discussed on the evening show
Yeah.
the night before. So basically, the evening show people are getting
The freshest
news.
news.
Exactly.
Okay. I like that. That's good. Thank you, Cardiff.
It's a recap. He does a recap. Every
We
month.
teach each other, Cardiff. you
He
know?
should actually just watch the evening show on the morning show.
That would be.
Yes, it would inspire some of those people. And they'd be like, hey, this evening crew is really kicking ass. We got to step it up.
Help out a filthy e-beggar fucking panhandler.
Okay.
All right, we're a minute and a half away. No, guys, we're not going to do the Jew music every fucking day. I can't. Like, this is going to be bad.
If you're
enough.
wondering,
How
what
much
is-
does that cost? How much for the Jew music?
don't worry, we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
If you think there's no way Mike spoils us with the Jew music, we will, in fact, get there. Don't you worry.
Oh, good.
If we don't win. Oh, God damn it. Come on, guys. Minute left. Let's do it. I love you. You're so goddamn generous. You knock it out every week. Let's fucking do it here. Come on.
Would you not donate to someone that loves you? That seems
love you.
counterproductive. I fucking love you, man.
I need this. I love you. These are some strong words. This is the strongest goal.
Give me any chatter's name right now. Pick a chatter.
Okay, Dang Lizard.
Dang Lizard.
Dang Lizard.
I fucking love you, man. I just fucking love you so much. I want to suck your cock. Now, give me money. Please give me money.
Hold on. Can you do that again and say Cardiff Electric, please?
I won't.
Please?
No.
For me?
90 away. Get inside of 50. I said we weren't going to need a hero or a big drop at the end.
I lied.
We need a hero. Where's Dean Cain when you need him?
Make me right.
I'm looking at you, Crunchy.
Make me right. All right, 45 seconds left to go. Zen Man with $5.
A hero comes along.
I had There Goes My Hero. We both had a hero song.
Says cue the Jew music and dance for your shekels. No.
What?
I already went too hard in the paint.
Again,
too
try to contain yourselves. We'll get to the Jew music. Don't worry.
Late for the Jew music. It's going to look even more pathetic. $85 away. Get us inside of 50. Now it's begging. Just get us inside of 50. I really want to win today.
What a voice.
If this was Monday.
Just get me there. Come on. You're a star. You're a fucking star.
This is panic mode. I've never seen this much panic.
I'm not fighting this hard for it, but Jesus Christ, come on. I'll cheat to win today. I'll do the fucking extra 30. We gotta win. Gotta do 6 weeks in a row. All right, 10 seconds left.
What do we gotta?
Daniel for $50. Thank
Yes!
you very much, Daniel. Daniel with a hard 50.
Are afraid.
$40 away
I
from
can
knocking
be
it out.
your
No,
hero,
$35
baby.
away. Dead game with a $1.
Where did Daniel give that money? He didn't say.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm just saying. It was awfully convenient. The
Daniel
exact
just
amount to
came
get
in.
into overtime came in.
He swooped in like a hero.
He did.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Oh, is that the key word? Like when Daniel, when I say we need a hero, you pop that 50 in the
Look,
chat.
up in the sky. It's $50.
Oh, you believe it's that complex? Like Daniel is waiting to hit send.
Yes, he's just
Oh,
hovering
okay.
over the button until
got
the
it.
word.
Da-da-da-da.
Or he doesn't exist.
Da-da-da-da-da.
One of the two.
$1 says I'm giving lunch money. Jew music now.
Jesus.
Here's what I'll do. We get to 10:25. We're still $35 away. We'll go to the
Right,
Jew
come on.
music since
we
you got
need
it
that
inside
Jew
of 50.
music. Music.
We stayed alive.
Jusic was good. I like that.
Thank you.
We stayed alive. We needed a 50 to do it, but we stayed alive.
All right. Mental
So
illness.
wait, he's within the 50 now?
Yes. Yes. The
No,
hero came along.
What's wrong with you?
Uh,
We were at 95, and someone came in with $50.
Yeah, but wasn't 95 to get the sub goal to give the extra?
No.
That was for the
Carter.
Jew dancing.
I thought we talked so much.
I
No, you
understand now.
subtract 50 from 95. Now we're at 45 beans. Whew, we got a little breathing room.
Got it.
Now what
But-
happens is we need $45 to hear that Jew music.
So overtime on credit plus Jew music.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well,
Got it.
no, you don't get the Jew music unless you're good boys and girls. And luckily, we find out exactly what that tastes like. We get a serving of matzah here. Thank God.
And I'm excited for it. Oh, my God. The embolism I burst in my brain worked out. Zen Man with another $40. And
Yes.
guess what, cocksuckers? Guess what, all of you who were hoping for an L? We got you, bitch.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
It's another win.
Do you hear that? Cocksuckers.
Yeah.
This man, moments ago, was like, I thought we'd do a good show, and I am extremely humble. I appreciate what you guys do every day to keep the lights on here and just do the right thing, will you? And then he gets a few dollars and he becomes this.
Man with another $40. And guess what, cocksuckers? Guess what, all of you were hoping for an L? We got you, bitch.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
It's another win for the toe.
Yes! Fuck yeah!
Suck it.
Fuck you,
That's my
MSO.
favorite part is when I go mental begging
OJ
for money.
hugging
And
Johnny Cochran after.
Well, watch. He's about to explain. He's like, my favorite part is when I celebrate and they laugh at me because they don't get I'm in on the joke. No, we know what you're doing. It's disgusting to be truly like, please, guys, I really need to hit the goal so bad. I feel like I'm going to miss the goal. Please, I need 6 weeks of perfection. You don't understand what it means to me. And then when you hit it to go, yes, cocksuckers. It's funny to watch that level of mental illness on display. It's just funny.
But again, still hasn't hit the main goal.
No, Cardiff, he has.
Oh, he has?
He did it.
Oh,
You're
he
one
did.
of these
Oh.
cocksuckers that can't give him credit.
You and MSO, Cardiff. You and
Well,
MSO.
you don't understand. The sub goal is never referenced unless it has to be. You see?
Yes. Perfect.
So when we're 95 away, we're never 95 away from the goal. Once in a while, he will say, you know what that means. We get inside of 50, we still give you the extra 30 on credit. He doesn't say we're 95 away from the sub goal.
It's one of those how to eat an elephant things.
Sure.
One bite at a time.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
The whole time. People don't like that. Patrick
can't
with
handle
$20. Thank you so much. So now
Patrick
we're
Melton?
$30 into Monday.
Oh, nice.
Thank you very much. You know what? You guys have earned it. You guys have
Let's
earned
do
it.
Let's do it.
Nice. Great work.
Oh, what is going on?
We did it. We won. You didn't. You have to watch us.
We lost. This is us losing.
You lose. You watch us all the time. We are better than you.
We are
better than you.
losers.
It
It's
doesn't
us
matter
that
if we
are
shake a little
losing
hand.
here.
We still got to where we needed to go, and you lost, and I'm still here. All right. Thank you, my little Semites. I love it. I appreciate it.
Truly,
It's another win for the toe.
that is a dangerously insane man.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
We lost, and he won.
Got us.
That is
Got
going
all
on
the
my-
money.
And people don't understand. They say maybe I spend too much time on Aaron Imholt, but you need to build. You need to start at the beginning to see the descent into madness a 4-hour journey takes you on.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was funny.
I mean, the most ironic part is Havana Gila was not written by a Jew.
Is that right?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, damn.
They own all music, Blind Mike. Every song. Technically, you can play any song.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
I gotta watch that again on my own time.
right.
All right, we got a few super chats here.
Let's do these super chats, and then we'll let Cardiff Electric get out of here. We have
Yeah.
more to talk about, but Cardiff has been a good sport and sat through a long show, so we appreciate his time.
Thank you, Cardiff. All right, Electra,
All
you're
right,
on.
Dame Taft, $5. Mike and Cardiff together. I haven't seen a blind innocent swoon over a disfigured nerd like this since Laura Dern and Eric Stoltz in Mask.
Great.
Aw.
Okay, it's a long way to go, but that's
Thank you, Dave.
Okay. Don Fried Chicken, $4.99. Hey, Mike, when you guys were watching the Baldwins, why did Craig take a screenshot every time Eduardo was on screen with his shirt off?
he didn't mention it every time. He's like, "Hey, the kid has his shirt off." Well, I'm not joking
no.
about it. You can go watch it. I don't know why he kept telling me that, but you know, he doesn't. I guess it makes sense for him to tell me that, but he doesn't paint any of the other scenery for me. You know.
Right.
He's focusing
Only
on the
that one.
important parts.
Yeah. Important to him. Ozempic, $1.99. Why'd you make Cardiff sit on the homo couch? Well,
Good question.
It's
he
comfortable.
looks good on
He's a
it.
couch potato. I don't understand what your question is.
It's my wokeness has really seeped into the show. We can't avoid it anymore.
After last week, after the debacle of last week.
Yes.
All right.
Ding Lizard, €5. The Toe Boys do not donate towards gifts for Aaron's kid. That would be ridiculous. Toe Boys donate to make a little kid's dad happy on her birthday.
Yes. Yeah, of course. It's not about the daughter. It's just the daughter's birthday is a reason to donate, but the money is certainly for the father.
Yes.
Sorry, Cardiff is over here having fun, and it's a little distracting.
I know.
What is he doing?
He's laying down on the couch.
Oh, okay, I like
Yeah.
that. I don't mind that.
Now my dick's coming out. Hold on.
Oh, no, that's what I was worried about.
Justice for OJ.
Coming in at $4.99, the Bladcast. Nothing wrong with commenting on clips from The View, as we hope you all tune in to watch Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with me and Eric Zane on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube.
What a whore, that Christian
Plugs.
lad.
He is.
Sneaking into my
Shameless
chat
plugs.
for his shameless plugging.
The worst part is the refund he's going to ask for after.
I know, that's no, go watch the Bladcast or the whatever it is.
Who are these socials?
Who are these blats?
Oh, no, that's the other
Yeah.
loser.
Who Are These Podcasts? I like that.
Broadcasts. That's it.
GDO $1.99. Funny how both your radio and YouTube shows ruined by a Carla.
Both my radio. Wow. What's the name of that person?
GDO?
That is a deep cut.
Oh.
I think. If it's the reference I'm thinking of.
Uh-oh. Show us on the doll where Carla touched you on the Kirk Minahan show.
I just read the words on the screen.
That's funny.
Ozempic $1.99. I tune into Cardiff via Sears catalog mail order.
Good.
Oh, we got a celebrity in the chat.
Ooh.
Justin Trudell $1.99. I was really upset at Super Bowl 42 as well, Mike.
Thank you, buddy. Justin called me. Justin called me because apparently last week there was a question in our chat. If you ever have a daughter, who would you feel more comfortable letting her around, Craig or Justin? It was something to that effect.
Oh.
Justin called me Friday, maybe, and said, "Hey," he goes, "Hey, Mike, it's Justin," as he always does. I know it's him, but he identifies himself, which is nice. He goes, "Hey, Mike, it's Justin. I just wanted to let you know I was listening to your show, and I just wanted to clear up any confusion. I would never force myself on your daughter."
Oh.
And I said, "Okay." And he said, "All right, bye." And he hung up.
I do need to ask, did you get a similar call from Craig?
I did not,
he did
as a
not.
matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's good to know who your friends are.
Speaks volumes.
Yeah.
All right, up next, Prairie Judger.
Prairie Judge $2. Maybe 80% more Electra, 100% less Cardiff.
I disagree with both things, quite frankly.
If
But
I ever see you, Prairie Judge, if I ever meet you,
We love
He's my
Prairie
number
Judge.
one fan.
where were you, Prairie Judge?
The one pun, $2. I want his main donor's hard drives checked.
Well, I don't know. I think it's people that like to have a little fun, you know?
I might donate after seeing that dance. I got to be honest.
If it is a few $100s a week, how do you justify that?
Brewster's
Lizard-
millionaire situation.
Ding Lizard, €5. The goal is a new economic model called Begonomics. Imagine Coke is free, but if people don't donate, it will disappear. It's about supply and begging.
Yes. I think Coca-Cola should try that. Now that we've worked it out, I think it could be an interesting venture for them, you know?
I mean, give it a week. See how it goes.
Yeah, right. Right.
Oh, it was Coca-Cola. I thought it was.
I
a
thought he
different
was
thing.
talking about the other Coke.
Yeah.
No, well, Cardiff and I had a discussion. You guys should check out the show sometime. Cardiff and I did a bit. We were talking about Coca-Cola earlier.
Awesome. I Come Buckets, $5. I literally gave a homeless guy $5 this morning, and he said, "Oh, thanks, man."
Yeah. Yeah. You know, oh, that's it. Now I'm $5 closer to my goal. He didn't do that? That's weird.
I want homeless people to have goals, actually.
Well, they should.
I think
That
they
would
should.
be
I think that might help.
They actually should. Yeah, that's
Yeah, okay.
They should have the goal every day.
You're on to something here, Cardiff, because all I see is give me money signs. If it said goal $400, I would just be like, oh, here's 5. I mean,
No, they not $400. They should make it $1 less than Aaron's goal.
Undercutters begging.
Undercutters.
Brandon from Connecticut, $2. Thank God toe content is back on the Lord's Day.
You got it, baby. Thank you, Brandon.
a few more here.
We're listening here, £5. Gotta hit that goal, lads. It's the right thing to do.
It is.
It is the right thing to do. So those of you that haven't donated yet, just remember, you're doing the wrong thing.
We're listening here again. Trans Michael Vic, Mickey Vicky.
It's fun.
John B, £5. When I was at school, Of Mice and Men was the book they made the remedial class read. Smart class read Lord of the Flies. What did you guys read?
I think we had to read both at some point.
Yeah, all of the above.
Yeah.
Dang Lizard, €2. Feels weird to ask, but where is my BJ gift card?
Is that what we were promising? We'll get it to you eventually. Don't worry. Email me.
Hamilton Burger, the goal is basically Calvin Ball. Always new rules.
Yes, definitely.
Two-way.
And James R. Thank God Cardiff's here. He's better than Bill Burr.
Well, there's no arguing with that. That I'm on the right side of history, I think. People won't be correcting me in my comparison. Cardiff versus Bill Burr. I'm taking Cardiff.
Merch Mouse, $4.99. Oh, sorry. Merch Mouse. Hi, Merch Mouse. I thought Casey and Electra were on vacay. I would have been here earlier if I knew. Get show as always. Hi, Cardiff.
Great. I was surprised. I said, are you guys away next week? I'll figure out something else for the show. And they said, we'll be there with bells on.
Yes.
Interrupting their vacation.
I will not let you find a better producer.
Quite a
That's not going to happen.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, Cardiff, thank you so much for coming in, brother.
Cardiff, tell the people where they can find you and where they can save money on Hackamania tickets.
Well, if you want to save money on Hack, I mean, I hate saying it. I hate exposing them like you exposed them earlier, but everyone else, every other promo code for Hackamania.com is going to cost you more.
Of course.
But if you go to Hackamania.com, use promo code COME, you can save 10% on your tickets. You can meet me.
Wow.
I mean, that's alone the price of worth the price of admission.
Now that's a deal. Not like these other people are peddling.
No. They're grifters. They're all grifters.
Do that. Subscribe to Cardiff's Patreon.
Yeah, patreon.com/CardiffElectra. Get all the free content from all the other Patreons. Yes. Save money. You can save money on Blind Mike's Patreon.
Yeah, well,
you can save money on WATP's Patreon.
It's not as fun when I'm involved in the bit, but all right.
All of them. Hey, HACKRIDE, do you have a Patreon?
Yes, I'll gladly.
Not anymore, you don't.
You can save money on HACKRIDE's Patreon. All the Patreons are available at patreon.com/CardiffElectra, Dabbleverse.tv, MarioBosco.com. Subscribe to my Rumble. Yes, I do own MarioBosco.com. Flimsy Greenberg has given that to me, so thank you, Flimsy Greenberg.
And are you part of this Dabble House business?
I am not. But go to Dabble House, Dabblecon.live. Subscribe. I will be sniping it with my new pal, Kevin Brennan. And I hope soon to be featured on the Auntie Karen show. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Cardiff. Thanks for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. I've missed you.
Have you?
I have very much.
Aw.
Don't be a stranger.
I get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Invite me on once in a while.
Yeah. Tell that bedabbler to get YouTube Premium. Quit being a cheap ass.
He has YouTube Premium.
Oh, okay.
Well, then don't tell him.
I will not give YouTube any more money unless you subscribe to my new YouTube channel at Cardiff Elect.
All right.
I just subscribed. So everyone subscribe.
All right.
We've heard enough of this guy's propaganda. Get him the hell out of here.
Cardiff
Electric, everybody.
Thank you.
One of the greatest. Thank you, buddy. I figured we have some more podcast business to take care of, but we bring Cardiff on for the serious stuff, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, I figured our next topic, I wanted to talk real quick about something I saw on Dan Soder's podcast with the great Jim Norton, one of my favorites, because I think it ties into what we were talking about last week a little bit. People misunderstood. I don't know why I'm responding to it, because I think the people that were actually angry in the comments weren't really listening to what either me or Craig said. But there is a weird thing happening with some of this stuff. So I wanted to address it through some of the points that Jim Norton makes that I think were very valid, because there is there's something that happens with like online communities where it goes from like, there are people in the Fighter and the Kids subreddit that have fun with Brendan Schaub and like make jokes and stuff. And there are other people that like, I think actually want like bad to happen to him. It's like, what is that? That is a very strange trend to me. There's people that take this shit too seriously. And that's what Soder and Jim Norton were talking about, which I found pretty interesting.
First one here is called You've Changed.
Yeah, so it's a thing like we talked about with Bill Burr, and Bill Burr has changed. My point was, I thought the special was fine. And I will say this. Here's one that we didn't talk about that people sent me. Like, Bill Burr was on The View this week, I think. That is weird that Bill Burr didn't give them shit, because he's had such specific thought. He's mentioned The View specifically as like one of these outlets that he has a problem with. So that is something, like, if that had come up, it would have been tough for me to argue with. But I think Norton does make good points, and it's kind of the perspective I was coming from last week.
But, you know, like talking about the Aussie stuff, I always think it's weird. I think there's like a part of life that no one talks about where it's kind of sadder to watch your heroes get old than yourself get old. Because I don't think you realize you're getting older as much as when you see like Ozzy not being able to stand.
That's right.
You're like, oh, fuck.
That's your sign that you're getting. Yeah, that's right. Because that's why people hate it when bands cut their hair, or they hate it like, and I feel it like when people, you've changed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, asshole, I'm 56. You started listening to me when I was 30.
Yeah.
And by the way, dummy, you've changed. Are you the same guy you were 25 years ago? You're fucking, at least I'm still doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, your wife tells you what to do. You got fucking kids. You got a fucking minivan.
Yeah.
You're not the same guy either.
And then they're like, and I think that's all it is just projection of, because it is when you see your heroes get old and start to break down and like, you're like, fuck. It is just a reminder that you're like, I'm not the fucking kid in the van listening to them. I'm like, you like want to know what their vitamin regimen is.
Yeah.
You want to know if they're eating chicken without the skin. You want to know like adult shit that you're like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And that's what I think was kind of happening with Berg, because I went back and watched the clips because I read some of the comments, and one particularly stood out to me. It was damn, I guess I'm going to have to bail on Mike now. And I was like, what did I say that would make someone never watch this show? Like, they liked the show before, and now they'll never watch again. And I went back and saw some of the clips just to post as like shorts. And I was literally saying, hey, Bill Burr's not as funny as he used to be. I wasn't that soft on Burr, and people still got mad about it. And I think it's because people project something onto him. Like, they want him to be something. And I just looked at it as like, I don't think he's as funny as he used to be. I think this special was better than his last 3, which I thought weren't that great. Like, I looked at it as similar to his sports rants. Like, if you hear him on with Rich Eisen or whoever, and he's like, you can't fucking touch the quarterback anymore. It feels kind of old man curmudgeon. It doesn't feel like he's as sharp as he used to be. But I didn't see something where it's like, he's Howard Stern, a complete 180 where he's the opposite of what he used to be. I just think he's an older guy who has takes you kind of wish he didn't have because you thought he was on the right team or whatever. That's how I saw it. A lot of people saw it differently, but I think when I heard Norton say that, I was like, that's what I was trying to say. I'm not great at articulating this stuff sometimes, but where it's like, there is a projection where it's like, fuck him. He's changed, man. I saw kind of the same guy, which I think is actually a bad thing for comedy. I see a guy who hasn't evolved at all over the last 10 years. And because of that, he kind of feels out of touch. And Craig and other people were like, he's changed, man. He's a pussy now. Where I just didn't see it that way. People were like, he used to be anti-establishment. And now look at him. He's going after Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the establishment, whether you like it or not. Like, that is who he was going after. Again, I didn't think it was particularly funny, and I actually disagree with him on certain things. That was the other thing, is people were like, well, well, Mike's from Massachusetts. You know he's a liberal. It's like, I don't know. Am I? Am I that liberal? If you went back and looked at every take I've had about Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle and Louis C.K. and all these people, it's like, do I really fit in that box? So that's why when I heard Norton say that, I find Jim Norton very wise on a lot of these topics. So it stood out to me as furthering kind of the conversation we had last week.
Mike, I don't see you at the liberal parties. If you're there, put up your hand.
This guy is a liberal cuck. Casey's he's a lib. He's got his Hillary shirt on right now.
No, this is Krager's shirt. I do not have a Hillary shirt. Was not down with that. But next one's called Selling Out.
So this is kind of the point I was trying to make. Is like, I don't see it as a complete transformation. There are other people that I do think have done that, and I think we call them out. And Norton doesn't want to say names here. I think I know who they're talking about, but we'll talk about it after.
And that's like a thing about growing up, is you're like, oh yeah, you do get old, and then you got to let your heroes get old.
You got to let them get old too, and not and realize when you're pissed at them for it that it is a reflection of the fact that you're getting. As long as they don't become people that they're like totally the opposite. Like, I'm not as crazy as I used to be.
Sure.
But I'm not out there telling people what to say.
Yeah.
I'm not out there correcting people's, well, you shouldn't use that term. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but that's I think the worst form of celebrity is when people try to stay relevant by completely selling out what they stood for back in the day. It's exactly what man, sometimes I wish you guys could see the shit we talked before we filmed these podcasts.
Oh, I hate this happening on podcasts now. I hate the guys, and Soder is guilty of this. Like, people will say, oh, I hate these losers online that are so obsessed with gossip. There's people that just like have shows like this one. There are people that have shows that just talk about like gossip and the things we say on podcasts. They do it too. They're just like us. They go on these shows and they're like, oh, I wish you could hear all the shit we talked. I wish we could do it on air. Well, you can. You're just not. You're doing it behind the scenes instead. We just happen to be doing it into a microphone because we don't have careers to protect. So I do kind of hate that shit where they're like, hey, we gossip about everything. And you guys are losers for enjoying that for some reason.
Also tell us. Don't say, we have fun stuff over here.
So in fairness to Soder, I think Norton is friends with Amy Schumer and she used to open for him and shit. I think they're talking about Amy Schumer is my speculation. In fairness to Soder, the reason I think that is Soder has gone on other podcasts and shit on Amy Schumer because she was a certain type of comic one day, and when fame came knocking, completely sold out. She was like, oh, that's not who I was. That was a character I was playing. That was a lie. And Soder was kind of like, well, fuck you. So I will give Soder credit for that, but I do hate the idea of like, look at all these losers that talk about the gossip of the comedy world. Anyways, we also do it.
Yeah, but we were talking about a comic that got famous and basically just flipped up their entire thing once they got in trouble. They were like, that didn't mean anything. And you're like, well, then now you've done irreparable damage.
Yes.
Because instead of going like, I was young, I was saying crazy shit.
Yeah.
Which most people...
We all get it.
So that was my thing last week, is I was saying I didn't see a guy that completely changed and is the opposite of who he was. Like, what Amy did was she got trouble, quote unquote. She got shit for jokes she told about like Mexican people and shit like that. And she came out and made a statement and basically said that was a character that I was forced to play to make it in a male-dominated field. And everyone that knew Amy was like, wait a minute. That wasn't Amy Schumer I was talking to? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck was I hanging out with? Who was I going on the road with? Like, people were baffled by it. I didn't see that with Burr. Like, we've talked a lot about Stern changing over the years. We did it a little bit with Jimmy Kimmel. I just didn't see that. Maybe I have a blind spot for him because I was more of a Burr fan as a kid. Way more than I was. Yes, very fun. Way more than I was with like Stern or Kimmel. So maybe I just wasn't getting it. But even the comments weren't responding to what I was saying. They weren't like, oh, the special was bad. They were just like, he's a fucking liberal. And people have those blinders on, and it's kind of what the liberals did to people. Where like, if you didn't to the teeth agree with every fucking thing they say, they would go, fuck you, you well, they wouldn't say that. They would go, "Get out of here. We're going to ruin your life." Like they speak differently, but it was the same tone and idea. And that's what I saw a lot in the comments, where like wasn't even listening to what I was saying. It was just like a "fuck you" type of thing, which I thought was weird. And comments are representative of a small portion of the audience, but I did just want to have that conversation. I'm sure people are pissed that I'm saying this, but I think am I being illogical here? I feel like I'm being very logical.
No, it makes sense to me. I mean, listen, celebrities have a perspective that's a little skewed, but I think you're right on here. And
And I'm well aware I'm not changing anyone's. I'm well aware I'm not changing anyone's mind. But it was a big topic last week. We got a bunch of comments on it, which I like, and I appreciate the people, even the ones that disagreed with me. I appreciate people commenting. But I thought it was a good discussion, and I kind of wanted to keep it going for the people that I don't know thought I've sold out or something because I said Burr's special wasn't that bad. But.
Yeah. This was just a chance to red pill everyone again. I get what you're doing. You get them all back on the side. We have a few super chats here. Then we'll Electra, are you there? I'll give you 2 seconds. There she is.
Associate producer Ralph says, "Look at the numbers tanking without Tootie's the potato."
I figured I had a feeling that would happen, but when you bring a big star like that in, that's the price of doing business, you know.
Actually, the numbers went up, and that's the potato. So, just so you know, the numbers have
The
gone.
numbers are fine.
Oh, Ralph.
That's not correct.
Yes, that's Ralph.
I didn't put that together.
It was the first super chat, like 2 seconds after.
Oh, well, thank you, Ralph.
So I wanted to get to it.
Hamilton Burger, Burr and Jeselnik seem to be on a similar trajectory.
But that's the thing is, like, I didn't think Jeselnik changed that much either. He's just kind of always been a pompous asshole.
Yeah. Did you want to go into Bad Friends? We got Bad Friends and we got Glassman.
Yeah, let's do that real quick. Well, let's do Bad Friends. I just thought was funny, the way Shane handled this. But this is Bobby Lee. This was going around, and I saw it on Instagram and thought it was funny. So this is Bobby Lee talking a little shit. But we're getting a lot of Dan Soder today. I think he's on this episode. But it's mostly Bobby Lee talking shit about Shane Gillis.
I understand it now, like I understand Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis with his girl, the influencer lady, would have never made sense in any other scenario.
Besides what?
Besides famous comic influencer.
I don't think so.
You don't know.
You underestimate Shane.
Yeah.
I knew him before. I knew.
Oh, so he was deep in hot chicks before?
Before he got bit by the radioactive spider and he became Shane Man.
Okay.
He's charming. He's low key a cutie pie.
You're missing.
Everybody needs fame.
This is a very. I gotta criticize my guy Soder. This is a tremendously gay way to defend Shane Gillis. To not like you can't even understand what Bobby's saying. Where it's like, yeah, he probably has a more attractive girlfriend because he's super famous. Dan goes, no, he's a cutie pie. This is a very weird way to. I love Shane more than anyone, but Jesus, that's a very strange way to talk about him.
That's how we defend you, Mike. We
I appreciate it.
Mike's so cute. He's
when I'm on the receiving end, I enjoy it. But
about this, you're missing a few key points. By the way, you go to the Midwest. You see beautiful women with big guys.
Yeah,
Shane
and I'm
is a
like in
guy's
Canada.
guy.
And I'm gonna tell you right now.
Okay.
I used to go with Shane. Shane used to go on the road with me and feature for me. And when we would go to like Boston or something like that, we were both single. Boy would clean up.
Yeah.
Because the ladies would be like, "Ooh, I want me a pale daddy."
Right.
And he'd be like, "Shut up, you're gay."
what is Soder doing? Is he in love with Shane Gillis? What is this defense?
That's got to be his next special, Pale Daddy.
It's very strange.
And they'd be like, "Ooh,
I'm in love with you."
I need them freckles." And he'd be like, "Shut up."
He looks like a white guy that's been in water, like a dead corpse.
Oh my
And
God.
Are you calling him bloated?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the eyes bulge like it's been like in a swamp.
I got to tell you something right now.
I'm wrong.
He's going to come get you.
You don't want that.
You want to start this war, dude?
You are calling on. You're yelling at a cloud.
He picks me up.
You're yelling at
like a little boy. And I like it. And we have that relationship, right? I'm not, Shane, if you're listening right now or if you get this clip,
he will.
I give you props all day long. You're one of the funniest comics on planet Earth, right? You're the king.
Yeah.
And you deserve all your success. That's not what I'm saying.
But you were
I just
saying
think you have in Lord of the Rings, like maybe the second or third movie, right? Remember Frodo and those guys went to the swamp?
Yeah.
And Gollum's like, don't look in the water.
Who's in the water?
They're these dead elves from like thousands of years ago.
Oh my God. Dude.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
So Bobby's having fun talking shit about Shane Gillis. I think he continues here a little more.
It's called bullying.
Go to lunch. Go to lunch.
I just feel like that sort of like made me strong enough to do comedy almost.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know there's kids that are like they're giving Ozempic to like fat kids now, and you're like, no, you're not gonna have funny people when you grow up.
Yeah, let them level out.
Right.
Let them be fat and weird and awkward.
Yeah,
let
Shane
everyone.
Gillis.
Dude, you want that
You're doing
smoke.
it again. I don't know why you're doing
Honestly, I'm trying to agree with
You know
everything
what?
you're saying.
You know what? I'm trying to bring down the king.
it. Wow.
Yeah, I'm willing to do it.
They're building this up as something like Shane is going to be very offended by, and we're working towards Shane's response here, which I thought was very good.
Yeah, I saw the response. Definitely thinking something totally different. Goes in a whole other direction.
Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Shots are fired.
Shots are not fired.
I mean,
No?
Why? Because I said that Shane Gillis is bloated looking? How is that a shot fired?
That's legitimately a shot fired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it not? Am I crazy?
And of all weeks, he's
Okay,
hosting
here we
SNL.
go.
I know, he's hosting SNL.
That doesn't look Shane Gillis
Oh
sleeping.
my God, dude, you're fucked.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Imagine a nudist beach and Shane Gillis at it. Bingo. Look at that. There he is.
I will say this. You are my best friend, and I love you so much.
I'm going wrong.
I cannot wait for him to come back at you. Like, it's fucking...
Honestly,
It's going to be great.
I feel like a fur trapper that's come out of the mountains and told you like you don't want that war.
Dude,
Dan is in love with Shane Gillis. I think he's truly like wants to suck his dick.
It's Gilly.
I'd give you some Sam Elliott knowledge right now and say, Bobby,
take that.
sometimes you eat the
Get out.
bear, and well, sometimes the bear eats you. That's not funny. That's not funny.
Yeah, the way you said it.
My tongue. Stop it.
Fuck you.
So Bobby's talking shit, and then is this Shane's response?
Shane's response, yes.
Yeah, so this was very funny. They really built this up into something like Bobby's going to get fucked here. And this is how they called Shane Gillis live on the podcast.
What up, bro?
I want to tell you, you're on the pod, and we can cut it for sure, because I never want to trap you, but Soder's over here right now. Soder's
Treat
in
this guy
studio.
with kid gloves.
The man, and Bobby is over here. He's on a hot one. He's talking shit about you, and we warned him. And I said,
I'm not talking shit about you, dude.
Go ahead and say it, dude. Go ahead and say what we got to say to Shane Gillis. Say it.
I just said that you're one of the top comics on planet Earth. You're one of the kings.
No, what else?
I know your dad. I know your dad.
No, it's not what you
And I have great respect for you. Is that a slam?
Doesn't sound like that's what you said. So
I'll tell you what I said. All right, I think you have bulgy eyes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you look bloated.
All right.
Is that war?
Uh-oh.
Is it war, Gilly?
No. Me go to war with fucking Bobby Lee? No.
Could you defeat me quickly?
Yeah, I'm not. I think you're great, man. I look forward to the special.
See that, dude? He throws you a compliment. You insult
Shane,
my
why
friend.
are you doing? Oh
No,
my!
no,
I feel so bad
That's
now.
the kind of guy Gillis is. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you, Shane.
Love you, buddy. Talk to you later.
Hey, good luck, man. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Bobby, keep it up, man. You're hilarious.
I love you, Shane.
Damn.
That was,
how you
that
handle
was a great way to respond to it. But it was funny when Bobby goes, "What are you doing? Like, why? This is way worse than if you were just an asshole back to me."
That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, Soder has a crush. That is what I got.
That was the weirdest part of that clip. Was he's like, "This is a man. Like, this is just a man ladies want to grab onto. You understand?"
I've never had a lady talk about me that way, let alone a man. God damn. All
So-
right, our last. You want to go to some Glassman?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to play that Bobby Lee clip with Shane Gillis because that's how people bust balls on a podcast. Bobby can insult Shane, and at the end of the day, it's really no big deal. I apologize, Electra, but I guess when you're on a podcast with women, it's a little different or something. Esther Povitsky is supposedly a comedian. Khalyla Kuhn is not a comic, but she's been on a comedy podcast for over a decade, I think. So these people are around comedy, and they host Trash Tuesday, which used to feature Annie Letterman. Annie Letterman no longer on that show. And these two are holding down the fort. And they had Rick Glassman on, who I find very funny, as well as Brent Morin, who I don't know as much about, aside from doing Rick Glassman's podcast. I haven't seen a ton of his stuff. But I always find Rick Glassman funny on podcasts, so I checked this out to see what it was about. Also, Unique. I saw Unique posted a clip. For some reason, Unique titled it Khalyla and Rick Glassman go at it. Khalyla didn't really have much of a part in this, but I still found it very strange that a comedian handled Rick Glassman's jokes this way. If you don't know Rick Glassman, we've talked about him before, but he's a bits guy. And these two know each other. Esther and Rick did a podcast together. So if anyone knows Rick Glassman's bits, I would think it would be Esther. But this is a weird way to handle his joking. I think it starts out light and then progresses throughout the episode.
Rick Glassman famously stole our Jerry Seinfeld bit. That's how I remember.
Is that right?
Yeah, you remember he had Jerry. He was talking to Jerry, and we had the Jerry game show. I do.
Oh, all right.
It's called Early Jab.
Yeah, so he starts doing this. He does a thing, and he just did it. I watched his episode with Jay Moore. He had Jay Moore on his podcast, and he does a thing where he kind of starts off mic, and Jay Moore's talking to him and being polite, and Rick Glassman sits down and goes, all right, let's get this over with. And then turns the mic, acts like he's turning the mics on, but they're already on. But he does that fucking around. He did that to these two a little bit early on, and he had other jabs like this, kind of making fun of their podcast.
I agree, because adult Rick and kid Rick both don't want to do the thing, whatever the thing might be.
Mm-hmm. What's an example for adult
The easiest
Rick?
one, where this became conscious that I was using this as a tool is.
Where's the jokes?
You said you guys didn't want them.
You said you did want them.
I did, but you guys like what your podcast has become. So I'm just, I'm trying not to control everything.
So he's fucking around. He's making jokes that their podcasts are boring. They're like, hey, stop saying that. So he makes jokes back. But you hear Esther be like, where's the jokes? Fucking with Rick. So it's interesting how they take it. This is a wild episode of a comedy podcast to me, once you see where it goes.
Like an owl.
Seeing the bigger picture. Hey, listen, you're really focused on this one episode being boring, but look at all of your boring episodes.
But
this is just what the show is.
Okay,
but if I'm looking at a tree with an owl in a forest, I'm going to look at that tree because of the owl.
I want to hold space for Esther.
How do you feel when he does that? Oh, your show is not funny anymore. It's boring all the time. Where does that land with you?
I don't know. It's mean. It's mean.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me feel good.
He's fucking around. He doesn't make me feel good. No shit. He's making a joke at your expense.
Do not send Khalyla to a roast. She will not understand what's going on.
This is the craziest reaction to fairly tame jokes.
Then I have trouble telling you that because I feel like you'll just say something meaner back.
Yes! Yes!
Okay.
Yes!
So when I saw that, when I saw Esther react like that, I was like, maybe they're doing a thing back to him, maybe now they're fucking with him back, I guess. So I had hope for this, but we'll continue.
I feel like you can say that, but if I said that, I would just get pounded and pummeled even further.
Because I'm not as quick as
you. I was trying to stay quiet, but I can't.
I think that's
Oh my God.
Here's where I have trouble in life a lot. And I hope you'll give me maybe 30 seconds to finish this thought without saying wrap it up or let's get it over with. I think that
But that's his thing. They're like, hey, don't do your thing, Rick. Could you do me a favor? Could you be a different type of comic for a while? Don't invite Rick on if you don't find that shit funny.
I'm so confused by the comedy or lack of, or what was he supposed to do here?
Rick was being funny. He's like, hey, you used to do a comedy podcast. It's become whatever this is now. That's a funny line.
Yeah. He basically they said, you're too funny, and then we have to be funny, and then you'll be even funnier, and we can't handle any of the funny that's coming on.
You're right. There's an ego thing happening where it's like, hey, stop being the funny one on our show. That's annoying us.
So deeply, but you're so brilliant and you're so quick. It's sometimes hard to contend with that and tell you how I truly feel because I feel like you're just going to trample it because you're smarter than me, you're quicker than me, and your brain is connected to your mouth, and therefore you're able to get your thoughts much quicker. Versus me, it takes time to process. So I'll leave here feeling like, gosh, why did Rick say
How
that to me?
unfair. Poor Rick Glassman sitting there as a polite man, sitting there taking this. They're literally telling him, you're too funny to be on this podcast. Stop being so much funnier than us.
Your funny hurts my brain. I'm going to have to think about this afterward.
Hey, listen, you're really quick and smart and funny, and I'm not so much, and stuff takes me a while. So could you pull back a lot, please?
Yeah. You got a story where maybe you banged your sister? This is my level. This is my level.
Yeah.
times about our show and probably never say it to you because I have trouble contending with fast speakers. Does that make sense?
Wow.
And but then also on the same note, I truly, truly love you. But also,
it's confusing.
It is.
Can you imagine having whoever the fuck? I don't want to oversell what Rick Glassman is as a comedian, so don't think I'm comparing him to these people. But imagine if you had fucking Rodney on your show, and you were like, "Hey, enough with all the jokes. You're slamming me with." If you had fucking Rickles, and you're like, "Hey, you're making fun of me too much, and I'm not quick enough to make fun of you back." It's like, well, so you're not supposed to. It's fine. Let him slam you.
I would have just said, well, thank God you're here making our show fun again.
Right, yes.
Something like that. Come back with something. Don't be like, my feelings are hurt.
It's actually, it's a rare pearl of wisdom that Opie had. And it is funny because essentially what he's saying is like, you can be lazy and still make millions. But if you take it for what it is, I think it's actually an interesting thought where Opie said, and he didn't live by this code, but it was a good thought, where he was like, hey, if Patrice and Louis C.K. and Colin Quinn and all these people are on our show being funny, at the end of the day, people say, man, that was a great episode of the Opie and Anthony show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, Opie didn't always live by that code, but it is a great philosophy to be like, people being funny on our show is a good thing. Like Rick Glassman roasting them and being funny. It's like, hey, this episode of Trash Tuesdays was really funny. But their egos got in the way, and they're like, hey, Rick, pull it way back. You're too funny for us.
Khalyla thinks she's with auctioneers. They're talking too fast. Can I get ahead?
Yeah. Which, by the way, what he said was not that high concept. He called her show boring. It's not like, wait, what? Give me time to process this.
I need time to respond. Give me a day.
And I would also like to add,
like
it's honestly really, and I'm sorry, like I wanted to wait and like say cut or whatever, but like I feel like it was really hard just now when we were starting and you said that I said I didn't want to have Brent on without you because it wouldn't do good numbers. Like,
oh, let me explain
that. I don't
that.
remember saying.
Yeah, what is that?
So let me explain that. So Brent and Rick are friends that have been friends for a long time in comedy. They were on an NBC show together. They do each other's podcasts all the time. Like, and you can tell when you listen to them, they're good friends. And Rick made a joke like, it's better. I'm not doing it justice, but the joke was basically like, they had to invite me on with Brent so the numbers wouldn't tank or whatever. Like basically Rick saying like, I'm more popular than Brent. That was the joke. Brent didn't have a problem with it. Esther is saying, hey, now Brent is going to think I invited you here because if he was on, no one would watch. And you're just like, what? This is like if you invited your wife to come in and do a show with you. But Esther's a comedian. Like, Esther's the host of the show.
I want to hug DJ ELECTRA right now. Just because, this woman gets it, and this woman does not.
Yeah.
That I might have. I say
no,
that
you
sometimes.
didn't. I'm sorry. You did. She didn't. She never said that.
I never thought he did.
No,
that was so...
Thank you. Brent, by the way, is very funny. He'll throw in a couple lines here and there. He was very funny as like color commentary throughout this.
Yes.
Why would he think that Rick was insulting him? If Esther actually said that, you wouldn't say it into the microphone.
I'm very confused by this Esther lady. Is she pretty? I don't know. I can't tell.
It's weird.
So, like, mean. And I felt like it was mean to Brent, but it was coming from me in that way that you packaged it. And then he said something bad about himself. Like, yeah, I get it. And I'm just like sitting here thinking like, oh my God, does Brent think that I said that? And
so
like,
that was the joke. Rick goes, yeah, they said they invited me on so the numbers wouldn't tank with just Brent. And Brent goes, nah, I get it. That's him understanding the joke.
Numbers. Yeah, numbers.
Yeah, that's him improving with Rick.
Yeah.
An asshole, and I'm like thrown off by it. And it was just, but then I know if I say something, then you'll be like, I was just joking. And then I'm like, okay, well, should I not
Esther's
have said
comedy
anything?
philosophy
I
is
don't know.
no but. If Rick says something, you go no. But what's actually true is that Brent is a great comedian and successful in his own right.
If this was a bit, she's hilarious, right? Like if she was doing this like to fuck with him because he's known of fucking with everyone else, so you come on the show and act like a lady that's upset.
And
brilliant.
Yeah. And to be fair, like I said, I watched Jay Moore on Rick's podcast a couple weeks, and there were a couple times where you can't tell if Jay knows Rick's joking and is going along with the bit, or he's actually annoyed at him. That happens a lot on Glassman's podcast. So to be fair, like, he's hard to read at times. But Rick will stop and be like, I was joking when I said that, right? Like, he will call it out. So he's like very good at that. But to be like, hey, you have to stop making fun of us because we're not quick or funny enough to respond to it. That's a weird instinct.
Yeah, if it wasn't a bit, I think they should just start a therapy podcast, maybe, go into some psychiatry. I don't know.
Here's what's weird, Electra. They did a podcast together where Rick, they had this dynamic of Rick and Esther basically shit on each other. Like, I've heard Esther on Rick's show, and it's jokingly contentious. That's their dynamic.
Yeah.
So that's what I really don't get about this.
I've seen her stand up before, and she can be funny.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know her stand up at all. I've heard her on podcasts. I've never had an opinion of her one way or the other, really.
Gotcha.
This next one's called Rules.
Yeah, well, the rules are laid down here, which Rick needs a very specific set of, apparently, because he's broken them.
And I know how to spell rules, people. I just write it like Mike writes it because I think it's
Rules.
You told me how.
Obviously, why? Obviously, there's a typo.
I don't know sometimes. I don't know if there's inside jokes or
what would the joke be?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I apologize, folks. I made a typo, which is apparently hilarious.
Told me this a while ago, then we would have had this conversation a while ago. Not putting that on you, and I understand you didn't feel comfortable doing it, but I had no idea you guys felt that way.
I think it's a little bit like, do we let him just go off and shine because you are so funny? I would never want to stifle like anything you do, so it's like, we'll figure it out in post.
But like I think it's maybe just certain subject matter, or it just
I don't know what those subject matters are, because we've had this when we did Rick and Esther. Like, there are times where it's just boom, 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 and then there's times where your feelings would get hurt, and I'm like, which is valid. I just like, I don't know what the rules are. Apparently,
I think it's not that there are rules. It's just that when I'm sitting here and now twice there's been a joke about how our show is not funny and is boring. I'm like, what is that? Why?
No one, particularly a friend, no one would come on and say that seriously. Like that. It's clearly a joke. If Rick thought the show was, he wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? Like, by him being there, it's clearly a joke. Now, I get, like, if you're meeting Rick for the first time, you're kind of like, what the fuck is this? They've known each other for years. That's what's so odd about this. And that has to be exhausting as a guy like Rick, who's done many, many podcasts with her.
It's a cell phone, Mike. I didn't even think about how terrible the podcast was until she keeps bringing it up. And now I'm like, you know what? It is kind of terrible.
Well, here's where this comes from. I think this podcast, I think they still do fairly well, but I think the numbers have really dropped off since Annie Letterman left. So that's where this comes from. It's all insecurity of like, oh, you're saying now that Annie left, we suck. And Rick's like, oh, what? I didn't know. Because like Esther, I'm sure that's in the comments all the time. The show sucks without Annie. Bring Annie back, all that shit. I'm sure they get that all the time. So Esther's saying like, oh, you're one of these commenters saying bring Annie back. Whereas Rick's like, I don't follow that close enough to even know it's a thing, you know?
I gotcha.
I am feeling a little defensive right now.
Okay.
Because you say things, and I can't think of a specific example like that.
That's okay.
But you say things like that to me all the time. You'll snore while I'm talking. You're saying I'm boring. When we're on my podcast and I'm doing some of my silly animations, you're like, this is stupid. Why would you do that? This is, and like, you make fun of that stuff. And I believe both that you respect me and that you might not like those jokes or those animated, those things. And there's truth and there's silliness, and like, we're different. I am able to receive things in a certain way, not for better or for worse, differently than you. And it's easy to get confused of like, oh, I could take this, so she can, when that's not necessarily the case. But I will say the rules are not something that I came into our relationship with, rather something that we calibrated together. And there are times where the same thing.
It's like a married couple having this fucking argument.
Goddamn. When's the comedy start?
When all the guy was trying to do was be funny on a podcast that like I wouldn't have listened to if it wasn't for Rick Glassman. So like he's helping them, and they're like, "Hey, stop being funny."
Well, he's doing what they want. No one is now funny on the show. They have grown it too hot. Double standard is what this one's called.
Yeah, so this felt a little like, hey, I'm allowed to do that to you. Like, I can call you boring and snore through your stories, but please don't do that to me, which doesn't feel like a great comedy duo.
And it's like, I remember we did an episode once where I was talking about something, and then I'm like, and then this girl went, blah, blah, blah. It was a very maybe PG-13, if not PG joke, and you lost it. And I was like, oh, okay.
What does lost it mean, though? That's like, sounds
I would
like
love to cut to a clip. Ew. See, it makes me not even want to be doing this with you.
But see, that's funny.
Whether it's funny or not.
But see, like Esther's like, oh, that's funny that I said I don't want to be doing this with you. That's what Rick just did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? he came in and shit on you the way you shit on him. And she's like, oh, but when I did it, it was so funny. Yeah, right.
Getting
Okay.
bipolar vibes from her.
It's weird to not see that, to go, yeah, but that was funny. It's weird to not see, like, oh, shit, right. That's what I just criticized you for.
Imagine Larry Fine showing up to set one day. He's like, hey, guys, no slapping today. Let's just, no funny today.
I know, but then he pokes Mo in the eyes.
I said no poking. You didn't say poking.
It was you judging what I was doing, saying it
And
was
I would
not
say
good.
in a comedic way.
Sure,
Yeah.
in your comedic way.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, right, those are the rules that we've established.
Yes.
So in my comedic way, when I'm like, I mean, we do this stuff all the time. We used to do this on Undateable when it was like, when something happens and we go, and the ratings are going down in that moment. It's just, we're self-deprecating. We make jokes about each other, about other people. Now, there are some people you can't do that
Do
with.
that live on TV.
It is a little confusing with you because you do it all the time. And
I do what all the time?
punch and make fun.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I punch all the time.
Okay, well,
But
to me, I receive it that way, and I like it.
Yeah, Rick is 100% right. I was glad Rick stood up for himself because, like, I think there might be an instinct to be like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. But, like, I was glad he was like, well, this is kind of bullshit. Like, he was sorry. He apologized. But he's like, this is kind of bullshit that you're doing this to me, you know? I appreciated that.
This next one's called Punching Down. And these two should just fuck already, I think. That's what's going on here.
There's a lot of sexual tension, perhaps.
Yes.
But yeah.
Too sensitive with each other, you know?
This
They use
is
each
what
other's genitals, Mike.
This is what I think is crazy, is putting yourself in like a victim position and be like, well, you can make fun of other things, but it's not right to make fun of me because that's punching down in some way. Like, that's when you've made yourself, you should remove yourself from comedy if you think you're above being mocked.
So what I've just learned is there's a sensitivity to maybe talking about the show as a whole. Check.
To be honest, it feels like punching down, right? Because your podcast is more successful than ours, and it
Who
feels
gives
like
a
you're
shit?
coming on our.
If Rick Glassman came on here and did that, he's infinitely bigger than my podcast. If he came on here, I would invite him on to do that, and he should do that, and it would still be funny. You know? Like, if he was genuinely being an asshole, but he made funny comments. He wasn't being a dick to you, and you've known him. It's weird to watch this argument between people who know each other, because I would understand it if it was someone meeting Rick for the first time. It's hard to read him, whatever. It's weird that these are two people that did a show together for some amount of time.
Yeah, they're way too sensitive to each other. Like, so you're right. It almost seems like either that or they did a show together and they just like know each other's foibles and Piccadilly so much that they just walking on eggshells completely.
Right.
Podcast and saying and I know you said you don't know our numbers, but the last time we had a phone call, we were talking numbers. Maybe you don't remember. I don't expect you to remember everything we say to each other, but I was telling you our numbers and compared to yours, and they are much lower. And so I think that's where when it feels like you're punching down. When you call me ugly, I don't give a fuck because I personally don't think you're punching down. I think I'm prettier than you. But
see, like, what? Hold on. Why is that's funny for her to say? Like, good for her. Why isn't that abusive? Why isn't that punching down to insult Rick in that way?
Because she feels good doing it, Mike.
It's like, it's weird that she keeps just detracting from what she's saying. It's like, no, I can slam you. Like, if she just stopped making fun of him throughout this, I'd be like, okay, she's anti-joke in general. But she keeps peppering in digs at him and then being like, please don't make fun of me. You're punching down.
I think this is how she knows how to get him off his game. And so she's got him off his game, and now he's in defensive.
I guess, but I think Rick's much better at arguing this point than her.
Oh, she has no shot,
Yeah.
but she's doing the best she can.
Do you feel that when you come on our podcast and you say your numbers are bad and it's boring, I go, ugh, it's almost like if Scarlett Johansson walked in the room and was like, Esther, you're ugly and you're never going to be acting and in movies. I'd be like, why the fuck are you saying that to me?
Is it like that? Is it like if a stranger who's massively famous walked in and said, you're ugly and you're never going to be in movies? Is that like a friend telling an obvious joke and doing like a character that he's done a million times? Is it exactly like that?
I'm convinced she's doing a bit.
Wouldn't I making similar jokes to you guys on Tiger Belly? And like, oh, this is this, and stuff more to Bobby than to you. Like, I would be punching Bobby too.
Again, you might not be viewing it that way. That's the way I'm receiving it, as it feels like punching down. I'm not saying that you're on purpose punching down.
Well, I'm sorry.
I've heard people like my guy Royce say this. My buddy, when I was on ROTC, I think Royce mentioned this, or maybe Mersh. They said there's something happening with like LA comics in particular, where it turns into a therapy session a lot. And sometimes I enjoy that in podcasts. I actually don't mind that. But there are times where it's like, you're now dissecting jokes and the meaning of them and how they make you feel to a degree that is detrimental to... There's comedy happening on your show. A guy was being funny. And you slam the brakes on that to have a discussion about how it makes you feel, forcing there to be no more jokes the rest of this podcast. It's a crazy mindset for a comedian on a show, by the way, called Trash Tuesday. It's not the Good Times Hour. It's called Trash Tuesday.
I've never heard of the show before, and we're watching it because of the drama, because that is what people love. They love drama. And so I think they get it. Maybe no one watches when they try to do comedy, so they go, hey, let's try something different. Here we are watching it.
Maybe. And people always say that. Anytime there's like a fight or some people are like, oh, it's fake. They're trying to drum up. I think some people, and Esther seems like one of those people, that are so afraid of like what the comments say about it. And I think because she's not making herself look good here.
No.
So I think someone like Esther or Khalyla, I don't think they would be part of a bit that makes them look bad. You know what I mean? And that's what she's doing here.
Fair
She's
point.
Very sensitive about her views, and
that seems what gave you that idea, Alexa?
And very competitive with him about his views. So it's like a competition for her somehow.
Well, Mike, imagine if Electra and I broke up. We're not doing shows anymore. Oh my God, we'd watch each other's numbers like fucking hawks, you know?
I wouldn't really.
I wouldn't either, actually.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. I'd be like, the second she got over me, I'd be off a bridge.
I can't imagine like going to Craig's. How many people subscribe to this bastard?
Well, he'd just do it to make him mad, Mike. He's not.
Well, that's
really
true. He just piss everyone off.
Yeah,
forgot about that.
He's a regular Borat out there. Just doing. Mike, we have one super chat, and then we'll get out of here on a 3.5-hour show. Congratulations.
Hamilton Berger says, remember, Undateable starred Blind Mike Project fave Chris D'Elia.
It certainly did.
That's right.
Did, yes.
What a show that was. God damn.
Yeah.
All right, Blind Mike, where can people find you?
blindmike.net is the best place to go. You can watch us watch the Baldwins every Tuesday. Before we're taking a break from Quincy to watch the Baldwins. This week, it seems like high drama because Alex's daughter, Ireland, the one he called a rotten little pig, she's going to be on the show. So that's exciting.
Excellent.
So we're doing that every Tuesday. You can get early access and bonus episodes. Like you can get the Paula Poundstone episode that we just did. We also did a mini bonus episode where we watched Rob Delaney bomb on Jimmy Kimmel over a decade ago. So you can get stuff like that if you're a member on Patreon or YouTube, or you can just support the show for free wherever you get podcasts. We appreciate it. It helps more people find the show if you like, subscribe, and comment. So please do that. Shout out to Cardiff Electric. Go support everything he's doing. Subscribe to his Patreon. Are you guys doing a show after this or no?
We are not. We're taking we just came back for you, Mike. But we will be back next Sunday.
So, guys, go subscribe and do everything you can to support HackRideTheDemon.com.
Well, also
because these people ended their well, whatever it is. Is that what it is now? I thought it was HackRideTheDemon.com.
Both, but we're some people don't want to do busin's with a demon, so HackRideStudios.com gets.
Oh, it's rebranding. I see.
Yes, demon's disappearing.
Well, go either way. Go find Catch-22. Subscribe to Electra and HackRide and Casey Day. Support these two because they ended their vacation early for me, which is very kind of them.
Yes, we love.
Don't put my name out there. I don't want these chatters. They are just on one today, man.
Why? What's
chat
wrong?
Was harsh. Oh, it was bad in there today.
What's the problem?
She's done war in there. She came back bloodied.
I feel like I need a shower now. I'm all sweaty. It's been
with you.
What did
I say?
No, I'm just kidding, you guys.
All right. Thank God.
It's a sign of a good chat room with little battles going on, skirmish here or there. You know.
Electra, enough with the jokes. This is a podcast.
Okay, all right.
Enough with the jokes.
Yes. Can we psychoanalyze what you just said, please, for the next 30 minutes?
And go to verygoodshow.org if you're ready. If you think if you think you've got the nuts, and no women or children allowed, because you need the testicular fortitude to get through verygoodshow.org and support what Craig is doing over there. I mean, that's not for YouTube consumption. It would piss everyone off if you did that.
Yes. And one more thing. Go Ducks. Beat Arizona. That's all. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you to Cardiff.
Blind Mike Geary! I talk like this. It's silly. This is my punchline.